It's homecoming night at Dilboy Stadium as the Medford Mustangs come in to face off against the Somerville Highlanders this fine, cool October evening. Hello everybody, my name's Todd Harmon alongside Sal Mendonça as we are once again here at Dilboy Stadium to see the Highlanders of Somerville taking on the Medford Mustangs on Somerville Educational Channel 15. The Mustangs come in today, 1-5 record on the season so far, Sal. Struggling offensively, only 2 touchdowns in the last 4 games, no touchdowns the last 2, but they are coming off a bye week as they come in tonight.
Yeah, they're going to be well rested. 2 weeks ago they played Everett, which they lost as Somerville did, but they do have the bye week, so they are well rested. They took a week off, maybe some injuries healed up, and Somerville coming off a game where they lost against Everett now. So both teams' last games were against Everett, both losses by both Medford and Somerville, and you know, evenly matched game here between 2 teams that are 1-5 looking to get their second win of the season here.
You talk about how evenly matched they are. We look at the Max Prep rankings very quickly in Massachusetts. The Mustangs ranked at 193 in Massachusetts. The Highlanders ranked at 178 in the Max Prep rankings in Massachusetts. So some evenly ranked teams there. Also even records, a 1-5 record for the Mustangs and a 1-5 record for Somerville. They both won their opening games of the season as the Mustangs were able to defeat North Quincy 35-30, and the Highlanders, of course, were able to defeat Greater Lawrence 27-6. Unfortunately, since then, 5 straight losses for both teams. So should be a good night of football here as an evenly matched pair of teams come at one another.
Most definitely. It's going to be a big key for the Somerville defense. As you see, we have a struggling Medford offense coming into town, not scoring too many touchdowns the last couple of games. It'll be key for them to keep the Medford offense to 3-and-outs, preventing them from scoring and letting their offense go to work, because the last couple of games, let's put it this way, some of the lowest point total Somerville scored all year was 27 points, and that was the first game of the year. They've been putting up over 30 points every game since. If they're able to do that again today, they should be able to beat Medford.
Medford has been struggling on the offensive end. You talk about Somerville's offense being effective. On the other side of the coin, we look at the defense, and that's the area where Somerville has had a good job, has their best, their most experience, I should say, is on that defensive side, and we've seen some good play from them this year.
Most definitely. You look back at that Durfee game 2 weeks ago, they gave up 48 points, but 2 of those touchdowns were just on busted coverages, wide open plays where, I mean, you give Durfee all the credit in the world for completing the plays, but those are just 2 mental mistakes that the Highlanders could have prevented. And then last week against Everett, they're the juggernaut of Division I in Eastern Mass football, so they're generally year in, year out pulling out D1 prospects. So that one you don't really hang your hat on too much, but if you look back at that Durfee game, those are areas where Somerville could have won, just a few mental mistakes, and they have to eliminate those here tonight.
Well, you look at the common opponents between the 2 teams. You mentioned Everett. Medford lost to Everett 2 weeks ago by a score of 41-0. Somerville lost to them last week 44-12. Another common opponent between the 2 teams is Arlington. Medford lost to them 42-7. Somerville lost to them 34-20. Remembering that Arlington game, Somerville got down early and really did a great job fighting back to make it a closer game at the end.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, if memory serves me right, it was 34-0 at halftime. Somerville came out in the second half, prevented them from putting any points on the board and put up 20 of their own. So, good halftime adjustments. They came out as a totally different team. It's going to take that type of performance today to, they want to play from the first quarter all the way through the fourth. We don't want to have the tale of 2 teams here. They come out strong, and that momentum should carry them through the rest of the game.
We talk about some injuries as well as we look over the Somerville roster. 2 important players out tonight for the Highlanders, as DeMar Chapman not playing this evening with an injured ankle, and yet another captain for a Boston-centered team is out. We have Rondo out for the Celtics. We have Mayo out for the Pats. We have Chara now out for the Bruins, and unfortunately for the Highlanders, Carls Alphonse is out as well this evening. A great game 2 weeks ago against Durfee that we saw from him. That's going to be a big loss.
Most definitely. He's a game changer for them on defense, especially as a sophomore. He's one of the leaders out in that defensive secondary along with Matt Collins, and him not being out there is going to be a loss for the Highlanders. They're not really sure how long he might be out with that shoulder injury, but this is an instance where one of the younger freshmen or sophomores is going to have to step up, fill his very big shoes. You don't expect him to have the same type of impact that Kyle's does, but you want to see the improvement and them try to do the best they can and prevent those deep plays that he was so good at doing.
We did mention it's homecoming night here at Durfee Stadium. I'm sorry, at Dilboy Stadium, as the Highlanders are about to take the field, running through the banner. We can only hope this banner running ends better than the Pee Wee football banner running that went viral on the internet. I believe it definitely will, though, this evening for the Highlanders.
Could be in trouble.
that is very, very true. Talking about coaching, you talked about some adjustments that the Highlanders were able to make against Arlington, specifically, of course. Tony Gullo, the coach for the Highlanders, the head coach for the Medford Mustangs, Jason Nascimento, is their head coach as well. A very good matchup here this evening that we have two evenly divided teams as the Highlanders do make it through the banner to open out the evening on this chilly homecoming night at Dilboy Stadium. So we talked about the 1-5 records coming in. It's really kind of interesting. Very similar records, very similar teams in terms of their offensive philosophy as well. We look at the Mustangs. They run a very similar type of spread offense that the Highlanders do as well.
Almost correct. We're going to see a lot of spread out. We're going to see the ball spread out. You're going to see, I wouldn't say you're going to see predominantly more runs and passes. You're just going to see, evenly 50-50. And once one team finds their rhythm, whether it's throwing the ball or running the ball, I expect them to stick with it. As you know, the other team's defense might not be the strong suit. Highlanders' offense is their strong suit. The defense is the one that needs to step up. Maybe on the other end, you got a Medford team that's kind of struggling a little bit on both ends of the ball. So you're looking for them to take advantage of that. Whatever, whether it's running or passing, and just continuing with it. As long as it works, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
So we've got the coin toss going on. The captain's meeting at midfield. Got some great homecoming activities coming up this evening as well. I'm looking forward to Harry Highlander's performance at the change between the first and second quarters. That should be very interesting.
He never seems to disappoint, so hopefully he's prepared something special for us here tonight.
So we had Medford. They will be receiving the kickoff from Somerville as the coin toss is over. The captains shake hands, and the teams meet in preparation for tonight's action. So some other homecoming activities that we have this evening. Of course, at halftime we'll have the homecoming king and queen in their court. Also the Somerville High School band will be performing at halftime. And then between the third and fourth quarters, we'll also have a special drumline performance, so that should be interesting as well.
I wonder if Medford brought their drumline. We could have a battle at the 50-yard line.
That would be great. That would be really great. I'd actually like to see a little drumline competition. Those are always very interesting. I myself played drums when I was in high school, so I enjoyed the drumline competitions. All right. So we have the pregame announcements being made. Soon we will be honoring America with the national anthem. That, of course, will be played by the Somerville High School band. They are under the direction of Richard Romanoff this evening.
Not doing your part to ensure Somerville athletic events are safe and
So we look forward to a great night of football here at Dilboy Stadium. We will now honor America with our national anthem.
Playing of our national anthem by the Somerville High School Band, directed by Mr. Richard Romanoff.
As we get ready for football here at Dilboy Stadium between the Medford Mustangs and your Somerville Highlanders. Both teams once again coming in with records of 1-5. Now after this week, Sal, we were talking before the game. The winner of this game will, of course, be moving on into the playoffs. Different playoff system, relatively new to the state in terms of a playoff system. So Somerville will be playing over the next couple of weeks, but we're not totally sure who they'll be playing or exactly where until tonight's action is done, correct?
That's right. I mean, with the win, Somerville pretty much guarantees them a spot in the Division III Northeast portion of the state tournament. Last year, they did the same thing. They made it. They unfortunately had to face the #1 seed, Tewksbury, which ended up winning the entire thing. They won the entire Division III. They won up in Gillette. So, a tough task for them last year. Looking to have an opportunity again to do the same this year. So the next 3 weeks, there are no teams listed yet because, depending on the results tonight, probably Monday around either Sunday or Monday, the tournament will be announced, who's playing where, and then after that, the winners will move on and the losers will end up battling each other the next following 2 weeks. So, big game here for the Highlanders. A lot of things, a lot of implications as to the result tonight. So, look for Highlanders to come out flying because they know what's on the line.
Absolutely. Plenty on the line tonight as the Highlanders kick away to the Mustangs, and we are playing here at Dilboy Stadium. The ball's fielded at about the 15, dropped but picked back up. He runs down the right-hand side where he spun down at the 30-yard line, and that's where the Mustangs will take over on the offensive side of the ball.
We already have a flag on the play. It's going to be offsides on Somerville. One of the gunners there, or at least probably 2 yards past the ball before it was kicked. Easy to see. Probably add that on to the end of the run, I would assume.
Tack that right onto the end.
And Medford's going to start in decent territory. They're going to be probably around the 35-yard line, 35, 40-yard line.
Well, that's good for Medford in terms of the offensive struggles that they've had to come out with a good bit of field positioning here, unless they might actually want them to kick again.
Yeah, they're going to have them re-kick it.
And they will go ahead and have a re-kick. They're going to back Somerville up 5 yards and have them kick the ball once again, looking to get better field position by virtue of doing that. So now ball's going to be moved back to the 35-yard line for the kickoff.
Looking to get a little better field position than that. If you're going to think about it, that kick, they should be able to field that by the 20, hopefully for a decent return.
No question about that. There's the kick. It's a good deep kick. It's fielded at about the 17-yard line. Run up past the 30, where he cuts back to the inside, avoids one tackler, and falls forward to the 40-yard line. As Damian Antoine on the return for Medford, and at the 40, the Mustangs will take over.
They gained 5 yards, so it was the right call by Medford there. They gained an extra 5 yards, and it could mean the world difference there. A little shorter field, and we're going to look for the Somerville defense to set the tone early here with a big stand here.
Adrian Pineda is the quarterback, number 5 there. As he's in the shotgun, he hands it off right up the middle, busting through the middle, making guys miss, is number 2, Corey Moore, as he's brought down at the 45-yard line by Somerville.
Nice read by Pineda. It looks like they're running a little read option there. You saw that hole right up the middle, handed it off, and let the running back do the work. Nice hole by the offensive line.
Brings up 2nd and 5 here for the Mustangs. Just underway on homecoming evening. So snaps a little bit high, but handled well. It's given off to Moore. Moore goes around the right side. A great tackle there, though, as Somerville is able to bring him down. That's Matty Collins bringing him down.
Nice to have him back in there, especially with Kyle's being hurt. You need that leadership back there. Great single-arm tackle. He hung on to him with that one arm. Great solo tackle here, and a big third down here for the Highlander defense.
Very big third down here as Medford looking at 3rd down and 4 from the 46-yard line. 2 receivers on the left-hand side, 2 also out to the right. 1 in motion, and he will keep it. The quarterback keeps it right up the middle, and he has plenty of room to run as he is finally caught from behind at the 25-yard line.
Fake the jet sweep there. Huge hole up the middle for Pineda, and he was able to gain a very big gain down the field, and just outside the red zone there. Looks like about the 22-yard line.
Pineda doing a great job so far, handing the ball off whenever it's not there for him to run, but in a case like that, he pulled the ball back from the jet sweep and was able to get big yardage, bringing up a 1st down from the 22 for Medford. Once again in motion, he fakes the jet sweep. It's given up to Moore up the middle. Moore will take it all the way to the end zone for the touchdown as the Mustangs get off the schneid and get an offensive touchdown right off the bat tonight against Somerville.
I mean, they just ran the ball right down the field. Pineda making smart decisions, giving the ball what he needed to, taking it when he had to, and that offensive line, you got to give him credit. They opened up the holes there for the Mustangs. Going for 2 now.
And he drops back, he throws it out to the left-hand side, and that ball is caught for the 2-point conversion by Jeff Liang. So Medford now leading 8-0 early in this game as Somerville's defense not able to stop them on that drive. Medford just drove it straight down the field with a good combination of runs. No need to throw the ball until that 2-point conversion for Medford.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to give Medford credit there. The offensive line did a great job creating holes for their running backs. Pineda was smart with the ball, handing it off or taking it when he needed to. And, if you're the Highlander defense, it's not the best stat that you want, but, you're going to learn from those mistakes. And now what you're going to take the next series that Medford has the ball. What are you going to do different to stop it?
No doubt about that, as the Somerville defense will have to figure out ways to stop Medford's running game. Medford now leading 8-0 as we open out this game. 9.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Not the way the Highlanders wanted to start off the evening tonight.
No, definitely not. But, the Highlanders' strong suits all season has been its offense. So this is a big spot for the Highlander offense to come out. Nice response to this and get the defense back on the field.
And here's the kick. It's an onside kick, and it's fielded before the 10 yards. It looked like it was fielded about 8 yards down the field.
Definitely way before the 50.
I mean, waiting to see if there's a flag out there. There it is.
There it is. He threw the wrong flag. It looks like he threw. Oh, no, it is. I think the officials are using pink flags in honor of
breast cancer awareness.
Yes. Yeah.
So
that threw me off. I was looking. I wasn't sure.
So the pink laundry on the field for the illegal touch. And that will make it Somerville's ball at the 49-yard line. Some good field position to start off with for Somerville.
Yeah, Medford taking a big chance there on that play, but if it's successful, they look like a genius. When it doesn't work, Highlanders have the ball in great field position.
Isaac Sarin will lead the Highlanders out. So he's got 2 receivers to his left. He'll hand the ball off to Kevin Raymond. Raymond will spin through one tackler. There is a flag down on the far side of the field, though, as Raymond is dropped after about a 7-yard gain. It's going to be an offside call against the Mustangs.
Nice hard running there by Kevin Raymond as well. One of those things that has impressed us all year long, the way that he runs. He runs it with power when he needs to, but when he needs to add a little finesse and juke, he's able to do that as well. So,
Kevin Raymond has been excellent all year. Really a lot of power when he hits the hole. He showed it again there. However, the Highlanders taking the penalty in the 5 yards, and we'll have first down once again here at the 44-yard line of Medford. And Sarin hands it off to Raymond. Raymond spins away from one tackler, fights through another, and is finally taken down by a large group of Mustangs after a gain of about 3 on that play.
Nice job by Raymond, spinning out of a potential tackle that would have been for a loss of yards, spinning his way forward, following forward, which he's been able to do unbelievably all year this year, and gave him a positive gain.
Brings up a second down here for the Highlanders. Sarin calls out the signal. He has trips to his right. The give is not to Kevin Raymond as Sarin keeps it, pulls it right out, runs around the right side. A great choice on his part as he gets it down to about the 27-yard line and a first down for the Highlanders.
I feel like we've been saying this all year, but Isaac Sarin with just such good decision making, knows when to hand the ball off, but he's not afraid to pull it, and he's been doing it for all year with some pretty big gains.
And once again, he pulls it out of Raymond's stomach there, and he's got open room around the right side, all the way down, forced out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Another Highlander first down.
I mean, this is truly now a dual threat. Now they have to worry about Kevin Raymond with his such hard running style, and now Isaac, who will pull it and go to the outside. The Medford defense is going to kind of have to pick its poison at this point.
Sarin doing a great job recognizing the linebackers and the D-line crashing down. That time, though, they crash down right on top of him as he is tackled for the loss. A loss of about 3 on that one. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 13 from the 15-yard line.
Looked like he tried to do something with the ball before he completely caught it on the snap, dropped right in front of him, and did the smart thing. Made sure he picked it up and then worried about the rest.
There's a low snap. He handles it, throws it up. It's a fade pattern into the deep end of the end zone. Incomplete, as it was intended for Jordan Delphin. Incomplete there, though, to Delphin. And that brings up a 3rd down and long for the Highlanders.
A very nicely thrown ball there by Sarin there. I mean, that's a spot where if you ask Jordan Dolphin again if he should have had that, he probably is going to say he should have caught that. Put it in a spot where only he could catch it. Jump ball situation, and Isaac, like I said, perfectly thrown ball right there.
So it brings up a 3rd down and 13 here for the Highlanders. They trail 8-0. Sarin gets a snap. He throws out to the left-hand side, incomplete, as he was trying to get the ball in there once again to Dolphin, and that was incomplete.
That pass looked like to be a little behind Dolphin there. Now sets up Highlanders with 4th and long. They can get a 1st down. They do not have to get in the end zone. They have about a 1.5 yard leeway there, so they necessarily don't have to get the touchdown on this play, but I'm sure they'd like it.
No doubt about that. The big 4th down here that the Highlanders are looking to convert. He's got 4 receivers, 2 up top, 2 to his left. Sarin gets the signal in from the sideline. Kevin Raymond joins him in the backfield as well. Snap comes back to Sarin. He's back to pass. He has nice protection. It breaks down now, and he's running it. And he will get past the 5 into the end zone for the touchdown as he's hit going in, but holds on for the touchdown. 6 points for the Highlanders.
Great job by Sarin there, reading, rolling out, giving him, his receivers an opportunity to get open. Saw that none was there and pulled the ball down and ran hard for that touchdown run. He had the 1st down, nice little extra effort there, rolling over, and was able to get in the end zone.
Excellent running there by Sarin. As you pointed out, really hard running at the end there as he was hit by about 3 Mustangs going into the end zone, but he just seemed to want it more in that situation.
Almost definitely.
So the Highlanders now line up for the 2-point conversion. Snaps back to Sarin. He's looking for somebody to throw it to. He's caught from behind by the defense, and he will throw the ball away. 2-point conversion is no good, but the Highlanders get on the board as they trail 8-6 with 7 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in the 1st quarter.
Nice job by the Highlander offense coming in and responding to what Medford did. They ran the ball all the way downfield at will. Great decision by Sarin there, pulling the ball for big gains. And now the Highlander offense, did their job. Now we're looking for the defense to do theirs, prevent, stop Medford, that running game that they did all that whole 1st drive. I mean, they just ran the ball right down the Highlanders' throats there. You're going to look for them to toughen up a little bit, get strong in the middle. It looks like that's where they had most of their success, was right up the middle.
Absolutely, and Medford with a very quick drive to open out this game, and like you said, it was right up the middle. Everything they were running in terms of their success, they weren't going to the edges. They were running everything up the middle. A lot of misdirection, some fake jet sweeps, and basically looking for that Somerville pursuit to allow that middle to open up for them, and it did. So Somerville will be kicking off to the Mustangs. It's a low line drive kick down the left-hand side of the field, fielded at the 22-yard line, and dropped at the 35-yard line, where Medford will take over as Alton Palmer with the return there for the Mustangs.
That's one thing you've seen so far, is neither kicking team is able to kick the ball deep. So I'm going to assume, each team's starting position is going to be within the 30, 35-yard line at the minimum for this entire game.
So that's where Medford's going to start their 2nd possession of the game at the 35-yard line. And the handoff is up the middle to Corey Moore. He's met with a wall of Highlanders there as Barry was in on that tackle along with a lot of other Highlanders.
Nice job by making the adjustment. You saw they had 4 or 5 Highlanders right there in the middle to plug everything up. Now you just have to be aware of them pulling the ball and having the quarterback go around the edge.
This brings up a 2nd down. And this is going to be a sweep out to the left-hand side as it's pitched to Moore. He will find the edge and get up to the 40-yard line as a gain of about 5 on that play.
Nice adjustment there by Medford, noticing that You know, someone was plugging that middle. Now they're bringing another element to the game here by pitching it outside. So now it gives the Highlander defense something else to think about now. Now they can't just overcommit to the middle.
Brings up a third down and a long 3 here for the Mustangs. Big third down conversion attempt here for the Mustangs. Adrian Pineda is the quarterback for them. The fake jet sweep inside to Corey Moore. Once again, he is able to get forward for the first down as Justin Berry is able to bring him down after he gets the first down to the 47-yard line.
Nice job by Berry there. He got a hold of him and just yanked him to the ground. He wasn't getting out of Berry's grasp there.
I think you're missing the enter button after something.
7 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Highlanders trailing by a score of 8-6. Medford with the ball at the 47-yard line as Pineda calls out his signals. He will hand it off to Moore up the middle once again, and Moore has nothing doing there as he falls forward maybe for a gain of 1 as the Highlanders are doing a nice job of cutting off that middle inside.
Yep, great job. As soon as he had the ball, as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, he was just met by his little Highlanders there. Nice adjustment by Coach Guller and the coaching staff. They saw in that first series they were going up the middle and getting bunches of yards. So far in the second series, 2 carries and probably a -1 yard total.
We've seen number 10, Damian Antoine, coming in motion, being faked the jet sweep. I'm sure he'll be getting the jet sweep at some point in time soon. It's a second down now, and the fakes underneath handoff. The pass is complete for the first down. As that was a very nice throw, a laser throw there by Adrian Pineda, put it right in there.
Yes, the fake of the handoff kind of froze the Highlander defense there. So Medford's first pass of the game, successful for about 13 yards, and now just another element for the Highlander defense to think about, excuse me.
We have a timeout on the field as looks like the Highlanders trying to get their defense on the right page in terms of what they need to do to stop all of these multiple looks and fakes and misdirection that we're seeing from Medford coming out tonight.
As you see out there, you got Coach Guller, Coach Curley out there talking to the defense. You know, probably just telling them, just remember your reads. They've worked on this all week during practice. You know, every one of these situations, know what your read is and what you need to do. They just need to, play a little bit more relaxed. I think they're thinking a little bit too much out there. Just play relaxed, react to what you see, and I think they'll be fine.
It's a great line from the movie Bull Durham. Don't think you can only hurt the ball club.
Boy, is that ever true.
And maybe a little bit of overthinking going on right there, right now, I should say, by the Highlander defense. As Medford now is going to have it first down and 10 from the Highlander 37-yard line. Medford on their second drive of the game, leading 6-8. And the give is to Moore around the left-hand side, and he finds the corner and is able to get, looks like almost to the first down marker. Just short of the first down, actually. It's going to be marked at the 29-yard line.
The Medford offense here seemed to find a rhythm, regardless of whether it's run or pass, all the different formations. They got a nice little groove here. It looks like they're comfortable just about doing anything that they have in their playbook right now.
Second down and 2 here for Medford. And Pineda will hand it off to Moore. Moore will cut it back, avoid 1 tackler and 2 tacklers, but be brought down finally, once again by Justin Berry at the 26-yard line.
Looks like Medford tried to run a little counter play out there from the shotgun set. He was able to make the first defender miss, but Berry was right there to once again, just take him right to the ground for not that big of a gain.
And actually the ball marked at the 28-yard line. So it's going to bring up a big third down here for Medford as it's a third and a long 1 yard here.
They're definitely in the territory where they're going to go for it on both downs, so I wouldn't be surprised. You're going to see a run on both plays here from him.
And in motion once again, and this time the jet sweep is the play as he gets the corner. He's through the defenders all the way down to the 10-yard line as Damian Antoine for the Mustangs is able to get the first down on that jet sweep.
I mean, they get a difficult task here. I mean, Medford's got 3 options when they're running the ball that they show that they can be successful with, whether it's the quarterback, hand it off to the running back, or now they just added the other option of the jet sweep. So you got 3 options that you kind of have to worry about.
Brings up a first down and goal here from the 10-yard line as Medford looking to add to their 2-point lead. The handoff is up the inside to Corey Moore, and he will find his way through for the touchdown.
31.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anthony Lorenzo.
Absolutely, Anthony DiRienzo. I'm sorry about that. Good interior running there as he was able to find some blocking and get through to the end zone. That's going to make it a 14-6 game pending the extra point, and they're going to go for 2 in this situation. And the give is up the middle, and that one is also good, as Alton Palmer gets the 2-point conversion for Medford. That's going to make the score 16-6, as the Highlander defense struggling with all the multiple options that we're seeing from the Medford offense so far this evening.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, Medford right now hasn't had any difficulty with their offense. They've just run the ball at will, to be honest. They had that one completion that really froze the Highlander defense. But other than that, I mean, they just run the ball left, right, center, and they've had a lot of success with doing it right now.
So the Highlanders trailing by a score of 16-6. Just under 5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Homecoming night here at Dilboy Stadium, and folks came back home this evening not happy at this point in time, trailing by 10 points, as the Highlander defense being presented with a lot of multiple looks in terms of the misdirection that we're seeing from Malden offensively, or I should say Medford offensively, and quite effective against the Highlander defense.
Almost definitely, jet sweeps, faking it, quarterback running it up the middle, handing it off to multiple different backs. I mean, they've just shown the ability to do a lot of different things, which can be confusing to a defense, especially a young one that the Highlanders have. They're going to be aware of the onside kick here again as well.
And this time it's going to be a rolling, bouncing kick that's fielded at the 28-yard line. Bounces off one would-be tackler, gets it up across the 40. He's still running as he is dropped finally at the 42-yard line. A very nice and powerful return there for the Highlanders.
Nice job by Matty Collins there, one of the middlemen there. Not the up man, not one of those where he picked the ball up and just started running hard up the field. And for the second straight possession, the Highlanders are going to have ball, great field position. Just sees offense can keep that momentum up and put some points on the board for them.
Highlanders will have it first down at the 43-yard line. Nice starting field position once again for the Highlanders. Trailing by a score of 16-6.
Hold shift, then.
Sarin has 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. The give is to Kevin Raymond. He's got running room on the left. He tries to make one guy miss. Instead, will step out of bounds, forced out there at the 46-yard line. Gain of about 3 on that carry.
Solid first down play there for the Highlanders. 3-4 yards there. Keep that up. But once again, Kevin Raymond getting the ball, running hard downhill. Saw he didn't really have too much and just took as much as he could before he went out of bounds.
Brings up a second down here for the Highlanders, 2nd and 7. And Sarin will drop back. He'll look on the slant pattern, just a little bit high and incomplete.
Looked like he overthrew that one a little bit. It looked like he was really trying to zip that one in there where he had a lot of room there. Took his time, could have thrown it a little less harder, would have had a little bit more accurate, and Pierre would have had a lot of room to run if he.
And it was intended for Pierre, and we definitely have seen him be an electrifying playmaker this year, so it's great when you can get it into his hands. 3rd down now for the Highlanders. They've stacked receivers on both sides of the field. And Sarin back to pass. He looks over the middle. That pass is complete. Very nice pass there. Great catch as well, as Pierre pulls that one in for the first down at the 39-yard line of Medford.
Great catch by Pierre there. One thing that impresses me about him as a freshman is he catches everything with his hands out in front of his body. He's not letting anything come in to catch him in his shoulder pads. He goes out and catches everything that's up there.
We have a Medford player down as well, injured on the field. It's going to be Corey Moore, their starting running back, as well as a defensive back for them.
I mean, that could be a big loss for Medford too as well, because he's been doing a bulk of their running, getting big chunks of yards. So if he was, hopefully he's not hurt too severe that he can come back in the game. You never want to see any player get hurt during these contests.
Yeah, no question about that. As Corey Moore still down on the field for Medford. You were talking about Yvonne Pierre, the young freshman, and how impressive he is, the way he catches the ball. As Corey Moore now up, will be leaving the field under his own power, so looking good there as he's be able to walk off the field. But we talk about Yvonne Pierre, that young freshman, great hands, soft hands as well.
Time and time again throughout the whole season, you see him going up, jumping up, whatever he has to do. He's catching the ball with his hands and taking it away from defenders that potentially could knock it down or intercept it. And for a player of such a young age, it's a great thing to see. And the future is only bright for that kid.
No doubt about that, as Saren gets his signals from the sideline. First down and 10 for the Highlanders at the Medford 39-yard line. A little mix-up on the signals. Isaac wants to make sure he's got the right play. He's got 2 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Kevin Raymond joining him in the backfield. And the give is to Raymond up the middle. He cuts it to the left. He's got open field as he makes another man miss at the 25-yard line. He's inside the 10 and forced out of bounds at the 3-yard line. A great job of running by Kevin Raymond.
Just another example of both things that he has. He had the ability, big burst, run through the line, but he also has that ability to make you miss. And just a quick little juke move there gained him another 15 to 20 yards down the sideline.
He showed pretty much everything we've talked about with him all season long. He showed some power, he showed a lot of burst, and a great amount of ability to make guys miss. As it's first and goal here for the Highlanders, it gives up the middle to Kevin Raymond, and he will force his way down to the 1-foot line, I'm going to call it.
And one thing Coach Gull and the coaches have to love is that he got towards the sidelines. You didn't see him go out of bounds. He lowered the shoulder to get those few extra yards, which is something that you always want to see, especially when you're trailing by 10.
No doubt about that. It's second down and goal here for the Highlanders, as they do trail 16-6. Just under 3.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Saren mishandles the low snap, but he's able to get it out to Pierre. Pierre not quite able to force his way into the end zone, though, as 3 Mustangs were there to prevent him from getting in, and it's going to bring up a third down and goal for the Highlanders.
Just that little miscue on the snap there by Isaac, and it cost them a touchdown because Pierre would have had more time to catch it and make a little move. It gave Medford's defenders more time to come over and basically gang tackle him.
So a little timing play there, and the timing just barely off, so it's going to bring up the third and goal here for the Highlanders at about the 2-yard line. As Saren gets it on the option, he'll flip it out to Raymond, and he leans forward and just doesn't quite make it. Down to the 1-yard line here. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 1 for the Highlanders.
The Highlanders tried to run the speed option over there on the right side, and Medford did a good job pursuing it and making the first tackle. They didn't allow Kevin Raymond to break through a tackle or make one of his juke moves.
They kept their assignments as well, didn't let Isaac, they met Isaac and forced the pitch, and then were able to keep Kevin Raymond contained. So it brings up a really important 4th down as Saren gets the snap. He's looking to his left. The pass is dropped right through his hands as Yvonne Pierre, we talk about how great his hands are, and then that happens, unfortunately. A lot of mustard on that ball, but Yvonne normally gets those and rails them right in.
Just an example, he tried, that ball kind of hit him in the shoulder pad. He didn't really have his arms out extended, and I mean, Isaac threw the ball to the open spot, so tough break here for the Highlanders, but on the positive end, you got Medford pinned within their own 1-yard line. If they want to score, they're going to have to go 99 yards. I mean, this is a big spot for the defense to really set the tone for the rest of the game.
Absolutely, a big spot for the defense. Highlanders trailing by 10, 16-6, as Medford starts on their own 2-yard line. The snap is back, handled, and handed off to Anthony DiRienzo, as DiRienzo gets about a yard on that one. Good job by the interior of the Highlander defensive line.
Yep, nice job. They didn't allow him to, get those extra yards. They met him there, brought him right down.
We can go 33, shoot 8, want that middle.
So Medford is pinned deep in their own territory with a 2nd down and about 8 here. And they will give it off on the jet sweep to the motion man, and Jeff Liang is tackled, a great tackle there as Matty Collins comes up from his safety position and is able to make a great play.
Great job by shedding the blocker there and getting to the man that was running the sweep and brought him right down. Didn't let him get extra yards, and if he gets by Collins, he's got about another 10, 15 yards, so.
Good job by the Highlander defense right there. Brings up a really big 3rd down here for Medford as they look to get out from underneath the shadow of their own goalpost at the very least. He's got 4 receivers out for the quarterback, Adrian Pineda. Once again, a man in motion. Pineda will keep it. Sidesteps one defender and is able to move the ball forward. Looks like it's going to depend upon the mark in terms of the first down, but he did get the first down, just barely past the marker, as that's going to bring up a first down and 10 for the Mustangs.
Nice read by Pineda, but it's not the end of the world. The Highlanders still have all this room behind them to work with. You just don't want Medford to keep getting that momentum. You need to stop. You want to stop them and get the ball back to your offense, which has been clicking so far the whole game.
We're inside the last minute of the first quarter.
Line up.
As Pineda calls out the signals, a 1st and 10 here. The give is to Antoine. Antoine around the left-hand side, and he's met by a wall of Highlanders there at the 14-yard line.
Nice job of assignment football by the Highlanders. As you know, the Medford offensive line was going to the left. They all just kept their lanes, didn't allow any cutbacks, didn't allow any holes from the burst through, and then, as you said, you got a wall of Highlanders there to make the tackle.
So it'll bring up a 2nd down for Medford. That will complete the first quarter as the Highlanders of Somerville trailing the Mustangs of Medford by a score of 16-6. Here you are watching Somerville Highlander football. It's homecoming night at Dilboy Stadium here on Somerville Educational Channel 15. Looking forward to it. This is our Harry Highlander performance here coming up.
Where is Harry?
I've not seen him. I'm not totally sure.
He's not coming in from, he's not parachuting in or anything, I hope.
That would truly be Highlander. That would be so high. He'd be coming in from on high. Long way to walk for the Highlander defense as they've got Medford pinned deep. Medford able to work their way out from underneath the goalpost. They've got a first down, but they're going to have it 2nd down and about 9 from the 14-yard line whenever we begin play in the second quarter.
So far, I mean, we're just looking for the Highlander defense to gain a little bit of confidence in what it is at this point. You know, they've stopped them first, 2nd down, then they let up a 3rd down. You know, we want to see that confidence all 3 downs. You know, preventing the big plays, which they've done so far this series. So I think the key is either create a turnover or let's get that ball back in the offense's hand.
A 2nd and 9 here for the Mustangs. Adrian Pineda at quarterback. He will give it up on the inside as we have a flag down on the far side of the field, and once again the Highlander defense stands tall on the interior, allowing no gain on that play.
The good thing about that is all the options that Medford have. You could see the Highlander defense prepared for all of them. Whether it was a handoff up the middle or the sweep going to the right, there were Highlanders there waiting for it. So they've made the adjustments so that they're prepared for all 3 aspects of what Medford has to offer on those specific plays.
And that's going to, penalty is going to go against Medford. It's going to back them up another 5 yards here. This is going to go all the way back to the 9-yard line, bringing up a 2nd and very long, about 14 yards here, facing the Mustangs. I also notice Anthony DiRienzo now playing at the halfback position for the Mustangs, as he's able to avoid the pressure there and make the pass across the middle for the first down at the 24-yard line.
Nice job by Pineda moving the pocket. Highlanders looked like they were going to have him deep in the backfield. He was able to sneak his way out of there. He set his feet and found number 20 there, Jean-Pierre, for a big first down there from Medford.
I was mentioning DiRienzo in the game. Corey Moore was their starting halfback, was injured playing his safety position defensively, and we've not seen him in the game since then. He did walk off the field under his own power, so we look to see whether he will get it back in. As Pineda takes the high snap, he'll hand it off up the middle. Once again, the Highlanders interior, an excellent job on that one, as it looked like Dante Gullah and a host of Highlanders involved in that tackle.
Nice job by the defensive line there, not giving Medford anything. It seems like the defensive line has really stepped up their game here in the last 2 series and not allowing anything up the middle like the first series. So Medford's damage has all been done on the outsides in that one big pass play where they could have had the sack.
Brings up a 2nd down and 10 for the Mustangs. Pineda has 2 Halfbacks in the backfield. The slant pattern is high and incomplete.
That ball was definitely overthrown there. They did have it open there, but the Highlander defender was right behind them, so wasn't going to get much more after that, but sets up, Medford's first real 3rd and long of the day, 3rd and 10, and I'd expect them to pass there. They've been successful with it here so far. This is a big opportunity for the Highlander defense to get off the field.
Big 3rd down for the Mustangs, as you mentioned. Pineda's actually looked very good and very comfortable in terms of being a quarterback. Like you said, good pocket presence and a good arm whenever he has a chance to set his feet. He's got 4 receivers out. He's going to fake the jet sweep, keep it himself, and meet a wall of Highlanders once again on the interior. No gain there for the Mustangs. It'll bring up a 4th down.
Nice job by the Highlander defense here. One thing I would be aware of, let's not totally discount the idea of a fake punt here. We saw Medford after their first touchdown try the onside kick early in the first half. They might be trying to catch the Highlanders a little off guard here, so that's just one thing to keep in mind in the back of your head.
Excellent point there as Medford's lined up for the punt. It's a low snap, but taken care of. The punt is a good high punt. The fair catch is called for at the 47-yard line of the Highlanders, and that's where they will take over as the Highlander offense will take the field trailing by a score of 16-6, but the Highlander defense did their job there. They were able to stop the Mustangs. And so the Highlander offense coming back out, Isaac Sarin and the boys coming back out. They've been able to move the ball today so far, do an excellent job moving the ball. Weren't able to get it into the end zone on their last drive.
Great to see the Highlander defense, though. That's a big momentum gain for them. They were able to stop Medford. Now they have the ball in great field position for their offense. They can keep that up. The offense is going to get their chances. They just have to, cash them in when you're down, inside the 5-yard line like they were last series.
We got just under 9 minutes here in the first half remaining as the Highlanders trail 16-6. Sarin's got 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. As the handoff is inside to Kevin Raymond, he makes 1 cut and makes another man miss and will get to the left-hand side where he forces his way through 2 tacklers, and it takes about 4 Mustangs to finally bring Kevin Raymond down at the 34-yard line.
Great job by Kevin Raymond there, and you got to credit the offensive line as well. They gave him the opportunity. Once he got into open space, he made people miss, and then at the end, like you said, it took 4 Mustang defenders to take him down as he kept, chugging those legs.
Raymond does a great job, especially with plays that are beginning towards the right-hand side. He puts that right foot down and is able to cut back to the left so quickly, and he showed it on that one, no doubt about it. Brings up a 1st down here for the Highlanders, the 35-yard line. And Sarin looks to his right as the pass is to Yvonne Pierre. He has it complete for a gain of about 3 yards, looking for a bubble screen there.
Nice job by catching the ball with his hands, but nice job by, I'm not sure who it was, blocking for him, gave him the opportunity to gain those couple of yards.
Absolutely. I think that was Shaquille Joseph out there blocking for him possibly on that. So it brings up a 2nd down and 8 here for the Highlanders. Sarin will keep it this time around the right-hand side. He's got some open space and is able to get across for the 1st down as he's knocked out of bounds. They're going to mark it at the 20.
Great job by Isaac holding the ball. It seems like one of the more underrated aspects of his game so far this year, coming this season, was his ability to run the ball. And he's shown he's been able to do it pretty good this year.
And we have a timeout here for Medford as they want to get their defense together. Highlanders doing a great job moving the ball downfield thus far. So Medford looking to make some changes or just basically get their defense on the same page, I think.
It looked like they had a defender running off the field late, and they called the timeout to prevent the penalty for having too many men on the field.
There you go. That would be correct.
And I figure in high school football, I feel like they have about 30 timeouts, so why not waste one on that?
No doubt about it. It's a 1st down and 10 for the Highlanders as they are right at the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line of the Mustangs. Sarin's got 2 receivers left, 2 right. He drops back to pass, looks to his right, instead goes to his left. He'll move the pocket to the right. He'll throw over the middle. Intercepted there as there was a linebacker underneath that he didn't read at the 2-yard line and threw it unfortunately right to him. Returned to the 10-yard line.
He just underthrew that ball. He had Justin Berry wide open in the end zone. He was trying to get it to him, but he just couldn't get it there. Unfortunately, he threw it right into the hands of the Mustang defender, and now Medford has the ball inside their own 20.
So Medford once again starting from deep in their own end of the field. They'll get the ball at the 10-yard line. Actually, I'm sorry, probably looking like the 12-yard line there. Highlander defense looking to make another stand here. And the quarterback will keep it up the middle. And Pineda will get about 3 yards on that carry up to the 15-yard line.
That was Pineda on the carry for the Mustangs. Tackling by number 52, Joseph Fellow.
Brings up a 2nd down and 7 yards here for the Mustangs. Just over 7 minutes remaining here in the first half. The Mustangs leading the Highlanders by a score of 16-6. Pineda has 2 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Receiver comes in motion, and the snap hits the motion man, and it's a fumble. We're looking to see who comes up with it, and I believe Somerville does have it as they will come out of the pile. It's, let's see here, I believe that would be Matty, actually. Matty Collins who came up with that ball.
Highland defense come up with a nice turnover here. You see in Medford, starting to struggle a little bit offensively. It seems like now they're trying to do a little too much, and the Highland defense needs to keep that pressure on them. Now, if I'm Isaac right now, coming up with it, stick to your game. Don't let that one interception phase you. I mean, he's been playing unbelievably this game so far, making the correct decisions. And ideally, he made the right decision, but he just underthrew the ball because he had Justin Berry wide open in the end zone.
As the Highlander defense able to get the turnover as the snap bounced off the motion man, Jeff Liang, and Matt Collins able to come up with that big fumble recovery. The Highlanders have it at the 14-yard line of Medford as they will have it 1st and 10 inside the red zone. Sarin takes it. He looks to his right. It's a fade pattern. He looks over, and that would be a pass interference as the defender did not look back at all for the ball as Shaquille Joseph was going up for the pass and was interfered with in the end zone.
Nicely thrown ball by Sarin. I like Coach Guller going right back to the pass there. Isaac threw that one up there right at the pylon, so either was it Shaquille Joseph? He was either catching it or it was going out of bounds. But as Joseph tried to jump in the air, that Medford defender was all over him and right in front of the referee where he threw the flag.
Yeah, that was one of those no doubt calls. There was no attempt to look back at the look back and play the ball at all. He simply ran through the man. And of course, that's always going to get you that pass interference call, and that's going to set the Highlanders up right on the 2-yard line, I believe. A 1st down and goal from the 2 for the Highlanders. As Sarin takes the snap, he'll hand it off to Kevin Raymond. Raymond right off left tackle in for the touchdown for the Highlanders.
Nice job by the offensive line. Totally different from the previous time when they were inside the 5-yard line. They just hit the ball to Raymond, and he just plowed his way right through for the touchdown.
Well, you mentioned the offensive line on that one, and no doubt about it, the offensive line did a great job on that play. Unlike the last time they were down on the goal line, where Medford was getting penetration defensively against them, they had no penetration on that. And Kevin Raymond, once he's going, he's not going to be stopped.
Absolutely not. You give him a little room, he's going to find his way through.
So after the 2-yard run by Kevin Raymond for the touchdown, Somerville will go for 2. The snap's back to Sarin, looks to his right, pulls it back down. He's looking to run in this time. He spins away from one tackler but can't get past the rest as the 2-point conversion is no good. That'll leave the score at a score of 16-12. Somerville trailing the Mustangs of Medford. But so really good things we saw there from the Highlanders. You mentioned that Isaac had made the right read. He just underthrew the ball. But then once the defense got the ball back for them, they went right back to the pass, which was a really good thing to do as well. And then we're able to get it into the end zone.
Yeah, credit Medford's defense on that 2-point conversion. They had all of Somerville's receivers covered, and Isaac kind of was just rolling out and didn't really have any time to. By the time he decided to tuck the ball down and run, there were already about 3 or 4 Mustangs on top of him.
Well, Highlanders will be kicking away to the Mustangs as there's 6 minutes and 45 seconds left here in the first half. Somerville trailing the Mustangs by a score of 16-12.
You guys don't say nothing.
Medford started this game off very, very effectively offensively. The Highlanders have made some nice adjustments through this first half, and we will see whether those adjustments continue to be successful as the Highlanders kick away. It's on the left-hand side of the field beyond the hash mark. It's fielded there and runs the wrong way for a moment to get a little running room, and will end up basically gaining 1 yard on that return to the 30-yard line.
Looks like he was running backwards to get a little momentum to run forward. I don't know, but nice job by the coverage team there. And now once again, the defense looking, 2 possessions ago, they forced Medford to punt. Medford's last possession, they were able to pounce on a fumble. They can keep this momentum up, get the Highlanders the ball again. I mean, things are going to be looking the Highlanders' way.
The Highlanders defense looking to stop Medford here. First down and 10 for Medford at their own 30-yard line. Adrian Pineda gives the handoff up the middle, and he is stopped after a gain of about 6 there. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 4 for the Mustangs. Back into the game now, Corey Moore. He had that carry.
Checked out by the training staff, ready to go. Wouldn't be surprised you see him get the ball here.
And he will get the ball. A little shovel pass forward that time as he will run around the left-hand side, able to get the first down, leaning forward just beyond the 40-yard line.
Nice job by the defense there. A little pitch play, but you saw the defenders, able to wrestle themselves away from those blockers there. You only gave them a gain about 3 or 4 yards, but it was enough for the first down.
Brings up a 1st down and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 42-yard line. Pineda with the snap, looks to his right. He'll flash it out there to Liang, but Liang immediately tackled after making the catch for a gain of only 2 yards.
Nice job. Medford tried to do their own version of the bubble screen out to the right side, but it looked like Matty Collins was there to give him not too much room after the catch.
Brings up a 2nd and about 8 here for the Mustangs. Pineda's got 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. The high snap is handled and handed up the middle, and he is met there in the middle by Mateus Brigado.
Nice job. I met him right at the line just about and brought him right down. Didn't even allow him to move forward. He took him and drove him back.
Textbook tackle there by Brigado, and it brings up a 3rd and 6 yards here for Medford. Just over 5 minutes remaining here in the first half, so you'd love to see the Highlanders make a defensive stop here, get the ball back into that offense's hand, and maybe get a lead going into the half.
And Brigado there, the freshman linebacker, making that play for the Highlanders.
So Pineda with the snap. The interior handoff is given up to the middle, and just short of the first down across midfield is going to be Anthony DiRienzo. Great job defensively by the Highlanders as they're able to stand him up just across midfield, hold him just short of the first down. This brings up a 4th and short for Medford.
I'd expect Medford to go for it here, and this would be a huge play for the Highlanders to stop him here on 4th down.
They are going to go for it here with the 4th down and short.
Have to be aware of the hard count here as well, see if they're going to try and draw the Highlanders offsides before snapping the ball.
Another timeout on the field. Medford wants to make sure they've got the right offensive play in, and of course the Highlanders want to make sure defensively they've got all their ducks in a row, so to speak.
I mean, this is a big spot in the game here. I mean, for Medford, you get the first down, you're going to continue to drive and hopefully down and score, but for the Highlanders, it means a little bit more. You're going to get the ball back with the potential to score before the end of the half, and Medford did start off the game by getting the ball, so the Highlanders will get the ball at the half too. So,
excellent point. The Highlanders have the opportunity not only here to get the ball back, but get the ball back in great field position as well for their offense. But that will entail them stopping them here. It's a 4th and 1. Trips out here to the near side for the quarterback, Adrian Pineda, as the Mustangs are looking to get the first down here against the Highlanders.
That looks like a false start.
It's going to be a timeout.
They kind of lucked out there. It looked like the right tackle there flinched a little bit for the Mustangs, but maybe they got the timeout just before that happened.
That's what we're going to say happened.
Yeah.
Got the timeout just in time. So both teams will go to the sidelines as they get themselves together. You can see the coaching staff there of the Highlanders talking to the defensive squad, making sure that they've got everything covered as they're looking at what Medford might do on this play.
I mean, this is the most important play of the game so far for both teams. I mean, it means a little bit more for the Highlanders, but for Medford, you want to continue to drive down the field to hopefully score before the end of the half. You don't want to give someone the ball back with that same potential to score and take the lead going into halftime, especially when they're going to get the ball to begin the second half.
So Medford leading this one by a score of 16-12, just over 4 minutes remaining here in the first half. A big fourth down here for the Medford offense as it's 4th and 1. The Highlanders looking to stop them here and get the ball back into the Highlander offense's hands. Pineda calling out signals. He gets it, will flip it out to the right-hand side, and Moore will be held short as he's knocked out of bounds before midfield. They lost a yard on that one, Sal.
Great job by Highland defense. That play looked a little weird from the beginning. Pineda held on the ball a little extra longer than your normal toss play, and then when he got it out there were 2 or 3 Highlanders already there waiting for him to push him out of bounds before the marker to get the first down.
Yeah, it looked like the timing was a little bit off on it. And the offensive line just, I mean, it looked like they had somebody trying to pull out there, but everything just, it was hinky, I guess.
It
would
just
be a good
looked different from the beginning. But great job by Highlander defense. Once again, it's the 3rd straight stop for them, and now gives the Highlander offense the potential to take the lead here for the first time tonight.
Absolutely, as the Highlander offense will take over just across midfield into Medford territory at the 49-yard line. 4 minutes left here in the first half, and the Highlanders trail by 4, 16-12. Isaac Sarin, quarterback for the Highlanders. 2 receivers to his left, 2 receivers to his right. Kevin Raymond in the backfield with him. The give is up the middle to Raymond. He will force it forward for a gain of 3.
Nice job. I mean, Medford had him right at the line of scrimmage, but what Kevin Raymond's been able to do all year is he's always been able to fall forward. He gained that extra 2 yards on just by keeping the legs moving and falling forward.
Brings up a 2nd down and either a short 8 or a long 7, whichever you'd prefer. As Sarin takes the snap, he flares it out to the left and tries to avoid the tackler, but unfortunately is unable to, as Yvonne Pierre made the catch out there and just couldn't quite get loose of the defender.
He couldn't make that first person miss. As soon as he caught the ball, the Medford defender was right on top of him, setting up definitely a 3rd and long here for the Highlanders. I wouldn't be surprised. So I'd look for Justin Berry in the middle of the field right here. He's a big body kid, catches the ball, and even if he doesn't get the first down, it's going to set the Highlanders up for 4th and short.
Justin Berry split barely off the line of scrimmage to your right here near side as Sarin is back. It's an underneath screen, though, as that was probably the outlet, I think, maybe on that one. But that's going to go for a gain of about 10. It's going to bring up an interesting 4th down decision for Coach Guller.
I'm going to be safe to say they're going to go for it, especially with how much time's left and how the defense has been playing. I think that, that factor, definitely comes into his decision making, and with how the defense has been successful the last 3 times out, let the offense keep going here.
So 4th down and 2 here for the Highlanders. 2.5 minutes remaining here in the half, trailing by 4. As Sarin gets the snap, he hands it off to Kevin Raymond. Kevin Raymond has room, and he is running down the left-hand side as he makes 2 guys miss, and he forces his way through 3 other tacklers as they knock him out of bounds at the 12. Great running.
Oh, unbelievable running. You got to credit the offensive line. I mean, they've been opening up holes for them. They've been doing a great job so far here tonight. In the rest, you got to give the credit to Kevin Raymond, the way he runs the ball. I mean, he's definitely a superb player.
Brings up a 1st down and 10 for the Highlanders. As they can get a 1st down, it's from the 11-yard line as the line of scrimmage. As Sarin will take the snap, he will keep it himself as he runs around to the right-hand side and forces it up inside, gains about 6 yards on that to the 5-yard line. Nice job by Isaac keeping the ball in that case.
Great, once again, just great decision making by Isaac. You saw that they were keying on Kevin Raymond, so what did he do? He pulled the ball and took the 5 yards himself.
2nd down and 4 here for the Highlanders, as this time he will fake it and toss it out to Yvonne Pierre. A great move as Pierre is able to get into the end zone for the touchdown, and the Highlanders lead.
Yvonne Pierre, touchdown, Highlanders.
Not sure where they have that ball. Was it
from the 5-yard line?
Nice play. They faked the read option. It got everyone thought run, and so Isaac, play the whole way through it to Pierre. And you said it correctly. Unbelievable first move. made him miss by a lot. I don't even think he would have had him if it was flag football.
Excellent point. And now the Highlanders lead by 2 as the score is 18-16, just under 2 minutes remaining here in the first half, as the Highlanders line up for the extra point, looking to make it a 3-point game here.
Yeah, go ahead. Yep, I got you. No, go ahead.
It's like some encroachment there, if I've ever seen it.
That's an entire team's worth of encroachment in
You got
there.
Isaac running back on the field with the helmet, ready to go for 2. And what they're going to do.
That is correct, as Kevin Raymond and Isaac Sarin both coming out to the field.
I'd see, I just go with the read option. You know, it's been successful. They begin at least the yard every time, whether you give it to Kevin Raymond or Isaac. Nice job. I think that was the plan the whole time, to get them to jump.
So a possibility of a 2-point conversion here for the Highlanders.
Yeah.
Looking to get that, just 1 yard is all they need for that 2-point conversion. Sarin's got 2 receivers to his right. He gives the ball off to Kevin Raymond. Raymond cuts it out to the outside, but he's handled there by the Medford defense. And the 2-point conversion is not good. So that leaves the score 18-16 as the Highlanders lead with 1 minute and 53 seconds remaining here in the first half. And the Highlanders have taken their first lead of the night.
I mean, great job. You know, this second quarter is totally different from the first quarter on both, not necessarily both sides of the ball. Let's give the credit where credit is due. The defense. I mean, they've stepped up big time. Last 3-4 possessions now, they've held Medford to not much. You know, a turnover, 3 failed conversions. I mean, they've definitely stepped up from, you know, what Medford was originally to do for them, and they deserve all the credit right now.
So the Highlanders have been able to turn it around as Medford really strong offensively coming out, but like you said, adjustments have been made, and the Highlanders seem to be turning the tide their way as they have taken the lead 18-16 here, looking to kick the ball away to Medford with 1:53 remaining. And one thing about Medford's style of offense that we've seen, it's not an offense that moves quickly in terms of time management. So the kick is a line drive kick, fielded, dropped I should say at the 18, but picked up there as he breaks across midfield to the far side of the field, and he will be knocked out of bounds there at the 29-yard line, where Medford will take over with 1:44 remaining in the first half.
I mean, that's a great point. They don't really get into the huddle, but you know, they don't really try to speed things up on you as well. They line up, take their time, see what the defense is giving them, and then they go. You would expect for them now with the 1:44 left to try to go to the hurry up to see if they can put some more points on the board.
So Adrian Pineda, the quarterback for Medford. We'll see if he can engineer a quick drive with 1:44 remaining here in the first half. The Highlanders leading the Mustangs by a score of 18-16. Snap to Pineda, and it's a bubble screen out there. Incomplete. Incomplete right through the hands of Carton Lewis. We talked about how Yvonne Pierre doesn't let it get into his body. Well, that's what Lewis just did there.
It looked like Lewis was trying to go upfield before he completely had the ball there. And you see that time and time again. You got to catch the ball before you either turn your head. You see it in the NFL all the time. And you got to do one thing before you can do the other.
So the incomplete pass stops the clock with 1:40 remaining here in the first half. Second down and 10 now for the Mustangs. As Pineda back to pass, he steps up. He will throw it long, and he has a man open. That ball is incomplete. Incomplete. As Damian Antoine had it and let it go through his hands.
We're going to get too many men on the field for the Highlanders. They couldn't get that last defender off the field. And, Medford lucks out there, but the Highlanders luck out because that was a beautifully thrown ball by Pineda, and number 10 there, Antone had it in his hands and then took 2 steps and dropped it. Unfortunate for them, at least. Fortunate for the Highlanders.
Very fortunate for the Highlanders, as he had about 2 or 3 steps on the defenders in that case. But the too many men on the field is going to move the ball forward 5 yards for the Mustangs. It'll bring up a second down and 5. With 1:32 remaining here in the first half as the Highlanders lead 18-16.
That penalty really hurts because it would have been 3rd and long for Medford, and if the Highlanders stopped them, they would have got the ball again before the end of the half.
Snap back to Pineda. He's back to pass. He looks to the left, up the seam, and it's incomplete as he led Jeff Liang just a little bit too much. He had Liang open, though, up the seam in that situation.
He did have him wide open. Did overthrow it just a little bit, and fortunate for the Highlanders, but Pineda's showing a strong arm here. You can contain that a little bit, just more accuracy than zip on it. I mean, he's going to be successful, and right now, as we talked about before. Now Highlanders 3rd and 5. I mean, stop here and they can potentially get the ball back with plenty of time for their offense to put points on the board.
Exactly. The incomplete pass stops the clock. It's 1:31 remaining in the first half, and a big 3rd down and 6 here, or 3rd down and 5, I should say, for the Mustangs, as the handoff is inside, and the counterplay will get the first down and more, as I believe that may have been Corey Moore once again. Nope, I'm sorry, that would be Anthony DiRienzo, as he gets the first down and more up to the 49-yard line for Medford.
Nice job by Medford there. Everyone probably expected them to throw the ball there. They run a little draw play there and get some nice chunky yards there, and now the drive continues.
First down and 10 for the Mustangs.
Okay.
1:22 left now. Pineda will give it off on the jet sweep, looking for some daylight, trying to get the corner, but he is not able to, as Damian Antoine is taken down after a gain of only 1.
Gain of 1, probably ran about 20 yards as he was going to the left there, and great job by the Highlanders, not giving him the corner and forcing him to the sidelines, and he tried to cut back in, and the clock continues to run because of it.
Brings up a 2nd down and 9 now for the Mustangs. Just under 1 minute remaining here in the first half as the clock is running.
I've got conflicting reports.
Pineda with the man in motion. He'll fake it to him. He'll try to step up into the pocket, but instead he is sacked. A big sack by Carlo Gerton.
Great job. He got in there. Unlike the first time when they had a chance at sacking Pineda back in there deep in their own territory, when Gerton got his hands on him, he wasn't letting them go.
Nope.
Wasn't letting them go.
So the clock will continue running as it passes 30 seconds left here in the first half, and Medford will take a timeout here. So 24.5 seconds remaining in the first half. Medford's going to take a timeout. So yeah, it is interesting. They're not content, I guess, to go ahead and just let the half in. They're going to go ahead and try to push the ball downfield a little bit more. We talked about the strength of the arm of Adrian Pineda. So we know he has the arm strength to get it downfield, but the accuracy is a question mark.
That's a very good point. And the interesting is they let about 6 or 7 seconds run off the clock before they decided to call the timeout. So originally you thought they're just going to let the clock run off, and they waited, they thought about it, and then they called the timeout. But you bring up a good point. With the arm strength that Pineda showed, 2 plays, you can get them in Hail Mary position, and when that ball's up in the air, it's up for grabs, and we've seen a lot of weird things happen.
No doubt about that. Now, the flip side of that is we're looking at a 3rd and long for the Mustangs after the big sack. So it's 3rd down and 14 is what they're looking at. You talked about the possibility of 2 plays, maybe coming out here with two plays in mind to try to get downfield into position for a Hail Mary, but they also need to make sure that they don't turn the ball over or that they get the first down in this situation.
This is an area of the game where the Highlanders missed Carlos Alphonse with his ability to make plays out deep in that secondary.
So the 3rd down here, 3rd and long, as Pineda's back. It's going to be a screen pass as DiRienzo gets the screen pass, and the Highlanders had that read from the moment it started.
Yeah, they had that scoped out perfectly. They weren't surprised or anything. The deep men back expecting the long ball, but linebackers and linemen were not fooled at all, ready for it, and they've lost yards on that screenplay.
So it's going to be 9.7 seconds remaining on the clock as the Highlanders take a timeout. They're going to force Medford to do something here on 4th down, whether it be punt the ball away or whether it be try to get a first down or run. They're going to have to run some sort of play here, and you never know what might happen in that situation.
Exactly. Force them to make a play. You don't give them the free end of the half. Snap could go over the punter's head. A lot of weird things can happen. So. The Highlanders were shown they've been able to block some kicks. Granted, they've been extra points, but you get a good enough rush, you block a punt, and might be able to return it for a touchdown. Absolutely.
Speaking of returning, Yvonne Pierre is who will drop back deep if they end up punting it here, and we know he has a lot of speed as well. And can make some guys miss, as we saw in his touchdown earlier. So the possibility of a big play here for the Highlanders, but yeah, it looks like the offense is coming back out.
I wouldn't be surprised if either it's a quick kick or if they just have him run around and throw the ball as high as he can to run the clock out.
So Pineda here, 4th down and 17. So we have a stoppage of play. Another timeout as the Highlanders are going to take a timeout, get their normal defense out onto the field instead of their return team.
Smart move by Coach Guller there. It looked like based on it, he's just going to take a step back, and once he gets pressure, he's just probably going to throw the ball as high as he can. Because by the time the ball comes down, it's probably going to be the end of the half. But Looked like a few seconds came off the clock there. Wasn't there 9 before?
It was 9.7, I believe, was what it was.
No hometown refs here.
Yeah, wait a second here. No hometown clock operating going on. Wait a second, we're supposed to add time on.
Exactly.
In a situation like this. Goodness.
Wait, there's not 12 minutes left in the half?
That's what I thought. So we have a big 4th down here for Medford near the end of the half. 8.2 seconds are on the clock as Medford has their offense back out onto the field. Their quarterback, Adrian Pineda. 2 running backs joining him in the backfield.
Let's see.
Pineda back to pass. He will set, he will throw deep.
Oh, that's a flag.
And that's going to be incomplete.
They didn't throw
Looked like a possibility of pass interference, but I don't see a flag down on the field. So with 2.6 seconds left, it looks like the Highlanders are going to take over in Medford territory.
If I'm a coach on the Mustang side, I'd be a little irate there just because, I mean, they clearly knocked the receiver over. I don't know if they're going to say the ball was uncatchable or I don't know, but if that happened to the Highlanders, I'd be a little unhappy.
No question about it. As now we're trying to figure out exactly, it looks like the Mustangs want to go ahead and head on into the locker room, which I can't blame them for.
Oh, I'd try it too.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, now you get one play. Get Isaac back there. Either a Hail Mary or the Highlanders try and get the ball with one of their playmakers and let them make some moves.
Well, we can talk about that play again while this timeout, as Medford has called timeout. It was Carton Lewis, I believe, number 13, who was trying to break on a little skinny post action there and was knocked down. But like you said, there's a possibility the officials felt like it was an uncatchable ball. Maybe Pineda had overthrown it beyond anybody's reach. But that does bring up the opportunity for the Highlanders here with 2.6 seconds remaining in the half, leading by 2, a score of 18-16. And they will have the ball at the Medford 41.
It looks like they're setting up just to take a knee here.
Yep, that is what it looks like. As
trick play.
Yeah, no doubt. And they will take the knee as we're going to go on into halftime with the Highlanders leading the Mustangs of Medford by a score of 18-16 on a homecoming night here at Dilboy Stadium. This is Todd Harmon alongside Sal Mendoza. We'll go to halftime here on Somerville Educational Channel 15 with the Highlanders leading by 2.
At this time, we would like to recognize our homecoming king and queen in court. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the class of 2017 advisor, Mr. Dewar, to make tonight's presentation. Thank you so much. First off, Somerville High School, please make some noise, you guys. Well done. So, to introduce our courts, female senior court, Lisa Senon. For the males, male senior court, Isaac Seron. Female court, senior Adriana Fernandez. Male senior court, Kevin Raymond. Senior female court, Brenda Badero. And now to introduce the 2014 homecoming king and queen, senior queen Aisha Guerrero. And lastly, the senior king, Kevin Aguera. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a round of applause. Congratulations, you guys. At this time, we'd like to welcome the Somerville High School cheerleaders. At this time now, let's please enjoy the Somerville High School Band's 2014 halftime show featuring the music of the Black Eyed Peas.
back on homecoming night here at Dilboy Stadium as the Highlanders of Somerville are leading the Medford Mustangs by a score of 18-16 as we move towards the second half. I'm Todd Harmon alongside Sal Mendonça here on Somerville Educational Channel 15. As we move towards that second half, Somerville started off a little bit slow in the first half, but was able to turn it around in the second quarter, Sal.
Almost definitely, and you got to credit that to the defense. I mean, the offense was consistently moving the ball down the wall. What really turned the tide here for the Highlanders was the ability of the defense to pick it up and stop. Basically, they stopped Medford in their tracks. Medford, the first two times they had the ball, kind of went down the field at will on them. But ever since then, the Highlander defense was able to kind of make the adjustment as to what Medford was trying to do with the ball and totally shut them down.
The Highlanders will open out the second half not only with the lead by 2 points, but also with the ball, as Medford will be kicking off to the Highlanders to open out here the second half. As we look at the scoring from the first half, Medford opened up the scoring with a 22-yard run by Corey Moore. Then Somerville answered back with a 15-yard run by Isaac Sarin. Medford was able to score on their second drive with a 10-yard run by Anthony DeRienzo. Then Somerville with 2 straight touchdowns to close out the half, a 2-yard run by Kevin Raymond and a 5-yard pass by Yvonne Pierre. Gives us the 18-16 score as Somerville will get the kickoff fielded at the 20-yard line by Kevin Raymond. Raymond gets through 2 tackles and a third as he forces his way upfield up to about the 37-yard line on that return by Raymond.
Nice job by Kevin Raymond there to run through some arm tackles. They weren't really doing their form tackle in there. And with a runner like Kevin, he's going to break through those arm tackles 9 times out of 10.
Kevin Raymond, an excellent first half. As he was able to get into the end zone on a 2-yard run. But one thing I noticed in the first half, Sal, is Isaac really seemed more willing to go ahead and pull that ball back from Raymond and take the ball himself in a lot of cases and made great decisions.
He was doing the right thing. He wasn't afraid to call his own number, and he was just reading the play as it was in front of him and making the decision. No point in giving the ball if you see the defenders are going to be there to stop him. Posdell has that lane to the opposite side wide open and was able to get a good chunk of yards each time he did so.
So Highlanders will take their first drive of the second half here, starting off at the 37-yard line with a 1st and 10. As Sarin has 2 receivers to the top of the screen, 1 to the bottom. And the handoff, well, no handoff, it's a fake, as Sarin will keep it, as we spoke about. He runs through a couple tackles as a couple tacklers were trying to tackle the ball instead of him, and he forced his way through down to the 44-yard line of the Mustangs.
Sarin there running the ball with a purpose there. Just he pulled it and went, and he was running hard and wasn't trying to avoid contact, and it got a good chunk of about 15 yards on that.
So a nice first play for the Highlanders. Gets a first down at the 45-yard line. As Sarin gets the snap, he'll flash it out to the right-hand side as that ball is caught by Shaquille Joseph. He'll try to move forward, only gaining about a yard on that quick pass.
I tried a little quick screen there to Shaq Joseph there. Wasn't able to make the first guy miss, but he was able to get a yard on it, so not a total loss there.
2nd down and 9 now for the Highlanders. So we open play here in the second half. Highlanders with the ball and the lead. Sarin's got 3 receivers on his left. He takes a snap. He looks to his right. It's downfield, a deep pass just over the outstretched hands of Jordan Dolphin as he was able to get past his defender, but led him just a little bit too much on that.
I mean, he had him wide open. The thing is, he threw that ball too close to the sideline. He didn't give him the opportunity to run under it and catch it. You know, that's okay to do when you're at the end zone, you know, going for the corner, but on something like that, you want to try and give him an opportunity to catch that. If he throws that ball a little more into the field of play there, I think he catches it.
Brings up a 3rd and 9 here for the Highlanders as the give is to Kevin Raymond around the left-hand side. He's trying to find the corner, and he does. He's got the first down and more as he falls forward to the 30-yard line. Great running by Kevin Raymond.
Great job by Kevin Raymond. Being patient and aggressive at the same time, allowing those blockers to give him the space that he needed to go, and once he had that, he exploded right through and was able to pick up that first down on a 3rd and long there for the Highlanders.
And he talked about his patience and waiting on those blocks. Some great blocking out in front of him throughout this evening as he's been able to find the holes, he's been able to hit them, and he's been able to get the yards tonight. So it brings up a 1st and 10 for the Highlanders at the Medford 30-yard line. As Sarin with a bunch of receivers at the lower side of the field will hand the ball off to Kevin Raymond. Raymond fumbles it, and it looks like it went back. It bounced back into Raymond's hands, I think, is what happened there. Or another Highlander was able to jump on the ball. as the Highlanders do keep possession, although Kevin Raymond, if there's one negative we've talked about a little bit this year, or a lot this year I should say, it is the ball control, it's protection of that ball. He gets it away from his body a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he runs hard, but he does leave that ball out there for it to be taken, and it looked like one of the Medford defenders was able to put a helmet on, and that thing popped right out.
Brings up a 2nd and 10 here for the Highlanders. So we've got 2 receivers at the top of the screen, 1 to the bottom, and Saren's going to keep it himself as he runs around the right side, gets the corner and the first down as he's forced out of bounds at the 13-12 yard line is where they're going to mark that one, and the Highlanders will have 1st and 10 from the 12.
Nice job by Isaac there, getting to the corner and then turning it upfield. Great decision making all day from Isaac. And you know, he's just continuing to show that, even with Kevin Raymond not on the field, the fake to the running back was enough to give that opening for him.
Brings up another first down here for the Highlanders, their first drive of the second half, leading by 2, 18-16, and they're knocking on the door again as they're in the red zone at the 12. And the Jets sweep around the left-hand side as I believe that is Yvonne Pierre cutting it back up inside for the touchdown. Oh, Yvonne, great cuts tonight.
Unbelievable. He was trying to get to the outside, saw that it was basically covered up there and waited for the blockers to give him a little lane, and once he found it, he let his talents do the rest with his ability to make people miss, which we've seen all year long with him catching the ball. Now he showed it as a runner.
Yeah, great run there by Yvonne Pierre. We've seen that speed throughout the year. We've also seen that elusiveness, and we've definitely seen it this evening as the Highlanders take the 24-16 lead, looking for the extra point. And the extra point is up, and it is no good, wide to the left. So that will leave the score at 24-16, but the Highlanders take the opening kickoff of the second half, drive right down the field, and on a 12-yard run by Yvonne Pierre, they have an 8-point lead, 24-16, with 8 minutes and 20 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Definitely the way the Highlanders wanted to start the second half here, especially with them receiving the ball, taking it, going right downfield. Some great decision-making by Isaac Saren there. And then Pierre capping it off with that nice 13-yard touchdown run.
We've seen Pierre throughout the season, and we've seen some improvement. He's gotten more and more involved in the game plan throughout the year. Whenever we started out with our first game here, we were talking about the young freshman Yvonne Pierre and what we were looking forward to seeing from him, and we're starting really to see that come to light here.
Almost, and like you're seeing him becoming more comfortable with the ball in his hands, and like I said, for a freshman, he's very impressive with his ability to go up and catch the ball with his hands, and the way he's able to make people miss him when he has the ball. And I'm excited to see him as he grows, he gets bigger and stronger, the things that he's going to be able to do on this football field.
No doubt about that, as the Highlanders are kicking away here to Medford. Highlanders with the 8-point lead. As the kick is fielded at the 23-yard line on the run, he's up past the 25 and met there and knocked to the ground at the 27-yard line by Manuel Santiago.
Okay, let's go 44 via left. 44 via left.
So now defense, you know, as they've been dominant pretty much since the beginning of the second quarter comes out, be big for them here to you know, big another stand here and get the ball back into the offense's hand.
We saw a lot of misdirection coming out by Medford. Somerville did a good job adjusting to that and has been able to stop them defensively through that second quarter. The give is up the middle as Moore gets it up the middle. He runs through one arm tackle but is brought down after a gain of about 8 up to the 36-yard line.
Now that Medford going back to what was successful for them in that first quarter, running hard up the middle with Moore and seeing if this kind of opens up other things for them as the second half goes on.
Corey Moore leaving the field
33.
on this second down, a second down and 2 for the Mustangs. As Pineda calls out the signals, he's got 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. He gives the ball up the middle, and a great tackle there as the Highlanders read the middle run, and a big tackle by Mateus Brigado once again.
Nice job by the freshman linebacker there. Wasn't fooled at all and met him and drove him backwards. Didn't allow him to fall forward to gain extra yards after contact, and now sets up a 3rd and 3 here for the Medford offense.
Once again, another big third down here for the Highlander defense as Medford's offense really finding it difficult going after Highlanders were able to make those adjustments. And the give is up the inside, and a tremendous play there as the Highlanders are able to knock him back for the loss. A big, huge tackle in the middle there by James McCarter.
Great job. I mean, those last 2 plays, Medford's lost 5 yards combined, and the Highlander defensive line there is the big reason why. They're not giving them anything at the point of contact at the line of scrimmage, and looks like it's going to force Medford to punt. And once again, the defense is doing its job.
Great job defensively for the Highlanders. It's a big 4th down here, and they will be punting. It's the first time, actually, we've seen the punting team out for Medford this evening, as they've been going for it on many 4th downs throughout the night. It's a high snap, but it's fielded nicely, almost blocked, and the kick is going to take a Medford bounce as Pierre gets out of the way of it, down to the 27-yard line, as the blocking squad for Somerville, lucky that ball didn't bounce off of one of them whenever it came down.
Agreed. And it looked like Justin Barry was almost in there to block that punt, just got there a split second late, but you're right. I mean, once that ball hit the ground, someone's going to be making the call for everyone to get out of the way, because that ball bounces all sorts of weird directions. You don't want to give Medford any momentum with a turnover like that.
Well, the Highlanders will get the ball after the punt at the 27-yard line, as the Highlanders lead here. 6 minutes, 11 seconds left in the 3rd quarter by 8 by the score of 24-16. The Highlanders offense came out, drove straight down the field to begin the second half here, and they're back out here for the second possession of the second half, looking for the same thing.
It'd be key here to score another touchdown, making a 2-possession game right now with the Medford's ability to score the 2-point conversion each time.
As the flag is down, we're going to have illegal motion there. False start on the Highlanders. They're going to move them back 5 yards there. It's going to bring up a 1st and 15 for the Highlanders now.
Coach go with a 4-4, cover 3.
Not starting off this drive the ideal way by going backwards, but the offense has been able to produce yards, so hopefully this doesn't hamper them in any way.
And Saren's got 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right, and he gives the ball to, no, he doesn't give the ball to Kevin Raymond, I'm sorry. Instead, he breaks it out left, he'll throw it, and running down the sideline for the 1st down is going to be, I believe that may have been Yvonne Pierre once again.
Great job by Isaac to kind of improvise there, with knowing that he was almost tackled there, able to set himself up, throw the ball to Pierre, and let Pierre do the rest. I mean, I don't know if that was a design play or not, but just a great job by Isaac, staying calm out under pressure there and making a play for the Highlanders.
Yeah, heads up by Isaac there, as he was able to help secure the 1st down. 1st and 10 for the Highlanders here. As the give is to Kevin Raymond around the right side. He's trying to cut it back inside. He runs through 1 tackler, but is brought down by the 2nd after a gain of 3. Or 4, actually.
Highlander offense, it just seems like they've been clicking all day, you know, been able to do what they want. Only stopped twice, one by the interception when Isaac had a wide open Barry, but just underthrew it a little bit, and then the 4th down being stopped inside the 2-yard line. But other than that, I mean, the Highlanders have been going down the field at will.
It's a 2nd down and 6 here for the Highlanders as Saren's back to pass. He's got a rush coming in, and he'll drop the screen off, and there is running room there as he breaks it down across midfield to the 42-yard line as Kevin Raymond takes the screen and gets the 1st down.
Great play call. They caught Medford's defensive line being a little over-aggressive there, thinking they were going to get the sack, and they just dropped that screen right in there. And I mean, you couldn't have drawn it up any better, and just another big gain here for the Highlanders.
Highlanders continue to get big chunks of yardage with 5 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. Highlanders leading by 8, looking to make it a 2-possession game on this drive. It's 1st and 10 for the Highlanders across midfield at the 42. And Shaquille Joseph in motion. It's the fake to him, and this time Isaac's going to keep it and run it on the right-hand side for a gain of about 5 yards there.
5 yards of the carry.
I mean, 5 yards of play is going to get them in the end zone. I mean, especially at 1st down. You want to get that big chunk of yards on 1st down. Set up, you know, you can open up your playbook at that point. You can start running pretty much any play you want because you're within, you know, shooting distance of that 1st down.
So 2nd down and 6 for the Highlanders at the 37-yard line. Bunch receivers at the low portion of your screen. Lone receiver up top for Saren. And he will pull off the play action to Shaquille Joseph on the screen. Shaquille down the right sideline, forced out of bounds, but he'll get the first down at the 29.
I really like that play. You know, he fakes like he's going to run it, and everyone just starts setting up to try to stop the run, and then he throws it to that receiver on the outside, and they're able to gain the second time now. They got over 5-6 yards on that play.
Brings up a first down and 10 for the Highlanders at the 29-yard line. Sarin once again back to pass, looking to his left this time. He's got a man open, just barely overthrowing him, as I think that was Yvonne Pierre open out there on the left-hand side. But unfortunately, the pass drops incomplete, bringing up a second down for the Highlanders.
Yep, looking for his receiver on the flag route there. Just overthrew it a little bit. He was under a little bit of pressure there by the Medford defense there. Wasn't able to exactly send his feet up like, you know, he would ideally like, but, you know, not a bad chance to go for on first down.
Brings up a second and 10 here, just under 4 minutes remaining here in the third quarter as the Highlanders lead by 8. Two receivers up top of the screen, one down on the bottom for Isaac Sarin. Sarin's got the snap. He's back to pass. The inside screen is knocked away. A very good job of reading that play by number 54 for the Mustangs. John Ferreira, one of their defensive and offensive captains there, and he looked like it there. As he read that screen, he was right in place for it, and the Highlanders lucky it wasn't picked off.
Great job by Ferreira there to make the adjustment. They ran that play a couple plays ago, and they all fell for it. This time he saw it coming, took a step back, and was able to knock that ball down.
Brings up a third and long here for the Highlanders, third down and 10, as Sarin will give the delayed draw upside to Kevin Raymond, and Raymond spinning but can't get there, unfortunately, as he's brought down after a gain of only 1 down to the 28.
Yeah, nice pressure by the defensive ends there by Medford there to stop that play, because if he was able to get by them, he did have a lot of room in front of him, but he got tripped up a little bit and it gave them opportunities to catch up and bring him down for no gain.
So it brings up a fourth down and 10 here for the Highlanders. They're going to go for it here on this fourth down in Medford territory at the 30-yard line. Two receivers up top of the screen, two on the bottom. As Sarin's back to pass, he's looking for that screen pass again, and that ball's knocked away as number 11, Jeff Liang, able to get his hands on that ball and knock the pass away, and the change of possession will occur.
Yeah, I mean, the Medford defensive line is more aware of the screen now. Those last two times the Highlanders have tried to run it, the defensive line has been there waiting for it. This time they were able to tip it. Yeah, last play, Ferrari dropped back to knock it away. So they're more aware of it now. You know, I might have to try to mix it up a little bit and then slip it in there after you. Hopefully they forgot about it a little bit.
So that's going to be a change of possession as the Mustangs take over on their own 29-yard line. Highlanders leading by 8. As the pass is out to the right, he makes one-man miss, does Jeff Liang, as he gets the first down to the 39-yard line, just to the 40-yard line of Medford.
You see Medford open it up here. You know, the first play, they come out throwing the ball. You know, previous to that, you know, they really was run. So now you're going to see they open up the playbook a little bit here, give the Highlander defense a little something more to think about.
First down and 10 here for Medford. Two receivers on the bottom of the screen, one to the top. And the handoff is on the inside to Moore. Moore will cut it back to the inside for a gain of 4 on that one as he cuts it back to the right, gains a couple extra yards on that one.
Nice job breaking that first tackle. Was able to fall forward and get about 4 yards here to give Medford a 2nd and 6 here. See if they continue with that run or try to open up a little bit more with the pass, because as we can see, Pineda can definitely throw the ball downfield.
Brings up the 2nd and 6 here.
We should be over the sky.
And the give is once again to Moore. He's got space and he's running through and gets the first down and more as he's inside Highlander territory to the 39-yard line for the first down, and they are moving now.
Definitely Moore running with a purpose there. As soon as he got through, he was running with some steam there, and luckily the Highlanders were able to tackle him, because if he got past that last Highlander, he was going to the house.
Yeah, he definitely was. So I think that may have been Marcus Thomas on that tackle.
Get out there.
First and 10 here for the Mustangs as the slant route is incomplete, just just a little bit low there.
Medford being aggressive once again on first down, throwing the ball, trying to change up their looks here so they're not, the Highlanders aren't always prepared first down run, so, changing things up here and just incomplete. Ball thrown a little low there for the Mustang receiver.
No question about Pineda's arm strength. The accuracy not quite where it needs to be, but he definitely has a strong arm, can get it in there. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10 here for the Mustangs. As Pineda gets the snap, he's back to pass. It's a little flare out to the flats caught by Jeff Liang, but nothing doing there as the Highlander defense able to stop him after a gain of about 3 yards.
Nice job by not giving him anything after he caught the ball. As soon as he turned around, the Highlander defender was there to take him down. And that's important. I mean, you don't want to, on offense, you want to make that first guy miss. On defense, you want that first guy to take him down because there was room there to have another big chunk of yards there. So, nice single tackle there by, not sure who the defender was, but good job.
It brings up a 3rd down here for the Mustangs. And the jet sweep is faked, and once again, right up the middle is the run. But the Highlanders were ready for that one as DiRienzo found no room up there and was only able to gain about 2 yards on that play, bringing up a 4th and 5.
Nice job by Highlander defense there. The jet sweep again. Waited for the fullback to get the ball up the middle. Each aspect of that play was covered. You had the Highlanders on the right side of the field prepared in case they handed it off to the man running the jet. Now it sets up 4th and 5. Not an easy task. You would expect them to throw the ball here, but they've been running the ball pretty well as well. So they have a few options here.
As Pineda brings them to the line, he's got trip receivers to his left, a single receiver to his right. And he is back to pass. As he looks to his left, the pass is up, and it is complete for the 1st down to the 24-yard line as the pass is complete to Jeff Liang once again.
I wasn't sure if he was trying to throw it to number 10. It sailed right over his head and right into the hands of number 11, Jeffrey Lang. So,
yeah, I wasn't quite sure about that either. It looked like it might have been intended for Damian Antoine, but Jeff Liang in the right place at the right time gets the 1st down for the Mustangs. As Pineda once again back to pass, and he's going deep into the end zone, overthrows it, but the flags are all over the place as the pass was intended for John Pierre, and unfortunately there's going to be pass interference is the call.
Yeah, a little too much hand contact there, twisted them a little bit, and that's a no doubt, especially with 2 referees standing right there. That's going to get called all the time.
So as we near the end of the 3rd quarter, 25.1 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
33, shoot 8.
Medford trailing by 8 as the Highlanders have a 24-16 lead, but the Mustangs are knocking on the door with the pass interference call. Will place the ball at the 7-yard line, bringing up 1st and goal for Medford.
And that gives them a nice big chunk of yards there. And once again, you saw the arm strength of Pineda there. If the Highlander defender didn't twist him, it could have been caught, but he's shown the ability to throw the deep ball. As we said before, he's got some zip, and the accuracy is just the only thing that seems to be limiting him right now.
So a really big situation here for Medford. They're down by 8. They've got it inside the red zone, inside the 10-yard line even, at the Highlanders 7. Highlanders leading this one with 25 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. As Pineda calls out his signals, he will throw it on the slant, and a beautiful defensive play there as the ball is knocked away by Jordan Delphin. A great job by Jordan on that play.
Oh, great job. Getting there as soon as the ball did, making sure he wasn't able to catch it. I don't think you could draw it up any better on the defensive side. Read the play perfectly and did his job.
2nd down and goal now for the Mustangs. As they're looking to even this game up, trailing by 8. They've come out looking to throw the ball a lot here in the 2nd half, and that's what they've been doing. That time, though, they're going to hand the ball off to Corey Moore. There is nothing doing on the inside for Mr. Moore as he's dropped for a loss of a yard.
No, the Highlander defensive line there was not fooled at all. Pineda, after he handed it off, made it look like he was trying to throw it, but by that time, Moore was already taken for a no gain there.
So the negative play will push it back to the 10-yard line. That's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter as the Highlanders will go to the 4th quarter leading by a score of 24-16. But Medford is knocking on the door with 3rd and goal coming up from the 10-yard line. This is Somerville Highlander football on Somerville Educational Channel 15 as we move here to the fourth quarter of play. We do have some more homecoming festivities as we have the Somerville High School drumline performance directed by Jacob Gabrazinski.
I would go to the wide side of the field. Wide side of the field.
Touchdown, Mustangs. Pineda's pass is complete.
That's going to make the score
now.
24-22, pending the conversion attempt here for Medford. As Pineda was able to hit the quick out there to the front pylon for the touchdown. So it's going to bring up a a 2-point conversion here. Looking for the tie here. Pineda's back to pass. He's got a man wide open, and it's incomplete. Incomplete. As that ball just bounced right off the hands of Carton Lewis, I believe. So that's going to preserve the lead, the 2-point lead for the Highlanders.
Wide open in the back of the end zone, too. Just couldn't get his hands on it.
That play had all the action moving towards the left, and Carton Lewis came across with his movement towards the right, and he was wide open there and just wasn't able to reel it in.
Looked like that ball was thrown a little bit behind him, and that's what we've been kind of saying all night is about the accuracy from Pineda. Could it have been caught? Yeah, but his momentum was taking him one way. He had to reach back behind his body, and would have been a tough catch, but one that he probably thinks he should have made.
So now Medford will be kicking away to the Highlanders with 10 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in this game, and the Highlanders have a 2-point lead, 24-22. We saw Medford on their first kickoff of the game after they scored the opening touchdown try the onside kick.
Yep.
Do you think that might be something they're thinking about here?
I mean, I think it's something the Highlanders need to be aware of. I don't know if Medford wants to give Somerville too good a field position just due to how successful the offense has been. So.
So Kevin Raymond, along with Yvonne Pierre, back deep for the Highlanders as the kick is going to be kicked. Line drive kick that Matt Collins touches, but it's picked up there by, I believe, that was Yvonne, I believe. Yes, it was.
Nice job by picking it up and just, full steam ahead, and now they got the ball at, just outside their own 40-yard line.
So great field position once again for the Highlanders at their own 42-yard line with a 2-point lead and 10 minutes and 45 seconds remaining here in the game.
Big possession here for the Highlanders. Touchdown here will, automatically make it an 8-point lead. So if they're able to hit an extra point, make it a 2-possession game, it's going to put a lot of pressure on the Mustangs here coming through the rest of the fourth quarter.
So Isaac Sarin gets the snap. He'll hand it off to Kevin Raymond. Raymond misses one tackler, spins away from another one, and it gets through 4 different tacklers, avoids 4 different tackles, and is finally brought down after a gain of 7 near midfield.
Just a great job by Kevin Raymond right there. I mean, he's just making people miss left and right, and he does it with a combination of finesse and power at the same time. It's just great to see, especially for some of this size. If you look at him, you don't see this big bulky back. You see someone lean, but he's got a lot of power with him as well.
Second down and short here for the Highlanders. It's 2nd and 3, just short of midfield. Highlanders taking their time. Time is on their side. They've got the 2-point lead. Sarin takes the snap. He looks to his right on the slant route, and that's going to be complete with a great catch, as that was by Jordan Dolphin on that one. A great catch as he was hit right as he caught it.
Great pass by Sarin there, even greater catch by Dolphin there, because as soon as he caught it, he was drilled by that Methodist defender, and he was able to hang on to the ball.
And the Highlander first down as well, as they've now got it 1st and 10 at the Medford 38-yard line. Trips to the right for Sarin as he's back to pass. He looks to the right, and instead he's sacked and fumbles the ball, and it looks like Medford may have that ball back. We're going to see what happens down at the bottom of the pile. Kevin Raymond also trying to get a hold of it, and they're going to say Kevin Raymond did get a hold of it, and it'll be 2nd down for the Highlanders.
Big sigh of relief there from the Highlanders that they were able to get that ball back. Looks like they were trying to run that screen again, and Medford had the defender that stormed right through there, but big loss of yards there for the Highlanders there.
Huge loss of yards. It brings up a 2nd and eternity, otherwise known as a 2nd and 25, I'm going to call it. As the Highlanders here with a 2-point lead, looking to drive down the field and make it a 2-possession game, but this 2nd and long will make that difficult as Sarin gets the snap. He looks for the slant pattern, and it was open, but Dolphin was not able to haul that one in, unfortunately for the Highlanders.
That was a beautifully thrown ball by Sarin there, right in the perfect spot, and Dolphin just, I don't know if you didn't watch it all the way in, but I mean that's definitely one that he would want back, because he might have taken it all the way he was going, the way he was moving.
That's going to bring up a 3rd down and extremely long here for the Highlanders. 3rd down and 35 is what we can call it. As Sarin's back to pass, he's got pressure coming in at him. He throws it up, and it is intercepted at midfield, and now that we've got an interception return on down to the 35-yard line, as Medford gets the big turnover at midfield and sets themselves up with great field position, trailing by 2 with 9 minutes and 15 seconds left in this game.
Definitely a decision that Isaac Sarin wants back, and just throwing the ball up for grabs, especially while he's back penalty. He's not going to have a lot of mustard on it, and that ball just floated up there to the Mustang defender there. And now the defense, it's time for them to step up. I mean, Medford was able to score last time, but up until then they were having a good run there. So looking for them to step up here and create some momentum for the Highlanders.
So the Mustangs looking to take the lead on this drive. The first play of the drive is a pass out into the flats, and that ball is incomplete as Jeff Liang could not reel it in. And I'll tell you what, if Jeff did reel it in, Matt Collins was going to light him up.
He read that play right from the snap, and he just reacted. And you're right, if he caught that ball, he was going nowhere, going to lose yards. And I'm sure he's feeling it right now, because Maddie hit him hard and drove him right into the ground.
Brings up a 2nd down and 10 here for the Mustangs. Just over 9 minutes remaining in this game. Somerville leading by 2, score of 24-22. As the give is to Moore on the inside, he'll cut it back to the right, and he's got an lot of green as he gets into the end zone for the Mustang touchdown. There are no flags on the play, and the Highlanders trail by a score of 28-24, pending the extra point.
I mean, he bursted right through that hole. It looked like he got through like 1 or 2 arm tackles. No one trying to body up on him, and he was off to the races.
So Corey Moore with a big run there, as a 36-yard run for Corey Moore gives Medford the lead here with just under 9 minutes remaining in the game. It's a 28-24 lead, but we're also looking for a 2-point conversion for Medford right here, with trip receivers at the top of the screen. And Pineda's back to pass. He passes into the middle, and that conversion is no good.
He tried to throw the ball back pedal and didn't really have much on it. He kind of threw it right in the ground, right in front of his receiver.
So the Highlanders trailing by 4 now. After the turnover, big turnover there by the Highlanders, set up Medford for the touchdown, the big 36-yard run by Corey Moore, as Medford takes that 4-point lead with just under 9 minutes remaining in the game. So we saw earlier when Isaac Sarin threw the interception in the end zone earlier, they came right back, gave it to Isaac, and the next play, the next offensive play for the Highlanders was a pass. Another situation, not the greatest of decisions by Isaac there. Backpedaling, didn't really have a place he was throwing it, kind of threw it up in the air and was picked off. So, you know, Coach Gullah in the past has gone right back to him. Obviously, Isaac's going to be out there, and I think they'll probably be throwing it again.
I wouldn't be surprised. You know, late in the fourth, well, not late, but, you know, little under 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter, you're going to go with Win Working, so you're going to see Isaac throwing the ball. You're also going to be seeing Kevin Raymond run the ball. He's been very successful the whole time, so, you know, you want to get the ball in your playmaker's hands. So, you know, Raymond and Pierre.
Speaking of Raymond, he is back deep to field this kick, as the Highlander offense now will be called upon to try to get the lead back. As the Highlanders trail by 4 on homecoming night here at Dilboy Stadium. It's a high kick by Medford, fielded at the 20-yard line. Raymond will bring it up to the 25. He was taken down at the 30-yard line.
Nice high kick, and Medford's coverage team did a good job getting down there, not really letting Kevin get any momentum there to run up the field.
Matt Sullivan, a junior linebacker, making the tackle there for the Mustangs. So the Highlanders will begin this drive at the 31-yard line with 8 minutes and 46 seconds remaining in the game, trailing by 4. Highlanders need to show the eye of the tiger right here, Sal.
Most definitely do.
Sarin will take the snap. He'll hand it off to Kevin Raymond. Raymond cuts it back to the right, back again to the left as he runs over a defender as he's tackled across the 40 to the 41-yard line and the first down to the 42.
Nice job of hard running by Kevin Raymond there, falling forward. Nice big 10-yard gain, giving the Highlanders a first down.
It's a way to start a drive for the Highlanders. So they look to retake the lead here late in this game. Sarin's got 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Kevin Raymond joining him in the backfield. And the give is to Raymond on the left-hand side. He will run through 1 tackler, run through a second, and it takes a 3rd Mustang to take him down near midfield. Gain of 7 yards on that carry.
That's definitely some powerful downhill running there. Just keeping those legs moving and taking 2 or 3 Mustang defenders with them.
Bring up 2nd down and 3 here for the Highlanders. So they've got the ball near midfield. A big drive here for the Highlander offense. Isaac Sarin has 2 receivers at the top of the screen, 1 at the bottom. Sarin's back to pass. He looks to the right. The ball is caught out there, but immediately tackled for the loss, as that pass out into the flats did not get anywhere.
It did. It lost the Highlanders about 5 yards there. Sarin didn't really get to set his feet. As soon as he caught the ball, turned and threw, you had a Mustang defender, draped on him, and sets up Highlanders for 3rd and long, and they're definitely in 4-down territory.
3rd and 8, as the line to get to is the Medford 48-yard line. Just under 7 minutes remaining here in the game. So Highlanders trail by 4. Sarin's got a single receiver at the top of the screen, 2 at the bottom. The give is to Kevin Raymond up the middle. He runs through 1 tackle and another tackle and spins away from another one as he's brought down after a gain of 4. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 5 here for the Highlanders.
Big play here for the Highlanders here. Now they can do either or. I mean, they've been successful running the ball with Kevin Raymond. Isaac might pull it and try and take it to the side for himself, or they could throw it. They do have 3 valuable options here.
Sarin getting in the play from the sideline. He's got single receivers to his left, got or doubles, I should say, to his left, and it's a slant pattern to the left-hand side, and that ball is intercepted. An interception there as Jeff Liang intercepts it for the Mustangs. The third turnover of the day for the Highlanders ends this drive.
I mean, a big play there by Liang there, stepping up, cutting off the slant pattern, getting in between the receiver and the ball and hanging on to it. I mean, it's fourth and 5, so you know Isaac had to throw it to a spot. I mean, but I mean now it's time for the Highlander defense. If they can get a turnover, stop Medford short. I mean anything really. They just need to get the ball back with time to give their offense a chance to take this lead.
Absolutely. Medford now with great field position as they begin to drive. It's just over 6 minutes remaining in the game. Medford leading by 4. As the snap is high but fielded, and Corey Moore will take the run on the left-hand side where he's taken down at about the 45-yard line after a gain of 3.
Now I wouldn't be surprised you see Medford start trying to take off some time here, running the ball. Moore's been successful all day. His downhill running, if he gets an opening, he's definitely got the speed to explode through it and get a big chunk of yards there.
We've seen Brigado on the inside making a lot of big tackles. Hopefully he can be able to step up here as it's a big second down here, a big drive for the Highlander defense to stop. As the snap goes back, and this time it's given off to DiRienzo on the inside, and he has nowhere to go as he gains only about a yard. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 6 here for the Mustangs.
Huge play here for the Highlanders here. They've done a good job on, especially on that last play, providing no yards there. Now, I mean, this is you know, probably the biggest play of the game right now. They need to stop that. They need to get the ball back to their offense. Another three downs. Medford gets the first down. Another 3 downs. It's going to take another 2-3 minutes off the clock, and that's time the Highlanders need.
No doubt about that, as we've just crossed the 5-minute mark remaining here in the game. So the Highlanders trail by 4, looking to get the ball back. A big 3rd down here for Medford. As Pineda's calling out his signals. He's got 2 receivers to his right. He fakes the jet sweep, looks to his right, and that ball is intercepted. A big interception by the Highlanders as the return now across midfield gets down to the 45-yard line of Medford as a huge interception for the Somerville Highlanders, and we got ourselves a situation. So
unbelievable. What we've been talking about all day is that, you know, Pineda's, you know, inaccuracy, and he had a wide open receiver down the field, threw it behind him, and wow, now Pierre, even on the defensive side of the ball, nice interception, nice return, and you know, just the big play that we were talking about. The Highlanders needed to get the ball back. I mean, they got the ball in Mustang territory, and now the offense, you know, an ideal situation here to take the lead.
no doubt about that. 4.5 minutes remaining in the game as the Highlanders trail by 4, but they have the ball on the Medford 45-yard line to start this drive after that big interception by Yvonne Pierre. Twin receivers on both sides for Sarin. He will keep it and run it up the middle, and he is taken down for no gain on that play.
Not much room there for Isaac to make any kind of moves or anything, but ideal now. You got to keep possession of the ball. Can't afford a turnover here, and now they need to start getting chunks of yards. With about 4 minutes left in the game, there's not too much time left for them to afford to give the ball back to Medford.
Sarin's calling out his signals. He's got 2 receivers to his right, single receiver to his left. And the give is to Kevin Raymond, and they were ready for that as Kevin Raymond is taken down for a loss of 5. As blowing that play up was number 54, John Ferrara. Once again, the defensive captain made some good reads on screens earlier and just blew that play right up.
Yeah, I mean, now the Medford defense stepping up, D-line not allowing Somerville to do too much once they get to the line of scrimmage. Even that play, a nice loss of 5 yards there for them, and now kind of forces Somerville's hands here to throw the ball, but they have been successful with it at times. You just need a little consistency here on the next 2 plays. 3rd
and 15 for the Highlanders. Sarin's got the snap. He's back to pass, looks to his left, and he has a wide open man out there as the ball is caught and advanced for the first down.
Nice job.
Big first down as Shaquille Joseph gets that play, gets that reception.
Right? No, it looks like they're going to be a half yard.
Oh!
But nice strong throw by Isaac Sarin there to give the Hondas this 4th down opportunity. They're giving them the first down.
We'll see whether they'll bring out the chain gang or not. I don't think so. They're going to go ahead and just give them the first down on that. They did begin that right around midfield, so now they have it at the, or right around the 45, I should say. Now they have it at the 35. 3 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in the game. 1st and 10 for the Highlanders. The give is inside to Kevin Raymond. He fights through 2 tackles and carries 3 Mustangs for a gain of 7.
Nice job by the hard offensive line, pushing him forward too at the end there. Hey, every extra yard helps, especially in this situation.
Every yard counts, and you get by with a little help from your friends on that one. Just past 3 minutes remaining in the game. This brings up a 2nd down and 4 for the Highlanders on Medford's 29-yard line. Highlanders trailing by 4. 2 receivers at the top of the screen, 2 at the bottom. Sarin gives the ball off to Kevin Raymond right up the middle, and he will continue running and powering his way for the 1st down into around the 21-yard line, it looks like.
Another 1st down there for Somerville, and nice hard running by Kevin Raymond and the big boys up front, really pushing that Medford defensive line back.
Somerville getting a very nice push from their offensive line, and Kevin Raymond doing a great job running strong behind it. 2.5 minutes remaining in the game. As the handoff once again to Kevin Raymond, he is spun down in the backfield though for a loss of 3.
Nice job by number 59, Max Tyler, another captain there for Medford, just busting through the hole and hitting Kevin in the backfield.
Very sure tackle, wrapping him up, spinning him to the ground. We know how hard it is to tackle Kevin Raymond. We've talked about it throughout the evening. Brings up a 2nd down and 12 here for the Highlanders. As Sarin gets it, it's an option look as the pitch is out to Kevin Raymond. He's got open field as he cuts it back to the inside. He stumbles just across the 10-yard line, but gets a huge 1st down for the Highlanders.
He's the only one that stopped himself on that play. He tripped himself up making that last cut, but he sets up the Highlanders on 1st and goal now, under 2 minutes left, and great job by the blockers there, but a great decision by Sarin there to pitch the ball to Kevin Raymond and let him do the rest.
So they break out the option look on that one, and a great job blocking and a great job across the board for the Highlanders. Minute 30 now remaining in the game. Highlanders trailing by 4, but they are knocking on the door in the red zone as Sarin will keep it around the left-hand side, and he is in for the 10-yard touchdown and the Somerville lead.
Great decision by Sarin there. They were keying on Kevin Raymond. He's been the focal point of this whole offensive series. As soon as they faked the handoff, all you saw was basically the whole Medford defense go right in. He pulled it and could have walked right into the end zone. No one was near him.
Nobody close as Isaac Sarin got into the end zone on that one for the big lead for Somerville. Now Somerville taking the 2-point lead. Looking for the extra point attempt here to make it a 3-point game. And the snap is back, the hold is good, the kick is up, and it is good.
That's the first extra point the Highlanders have gotten, where there's 2-point conversion, and it's a big one. Now it causes a 3-point game. I mean, Medford could ideally won the game with a field goal attempt. Now a field goal only ties it, but
31-28 now, the Somerville lead.
Put 119 on it.
As there's 1 minute and 19 seconds remaining in this game. Somerville has retaken the lead against Medford. They'll be kicking away to Medford here with just over a minute remaining in this game. And a great drive there for Somerville, and a great choice there by Isaac Sarin as he faked the handoff, kept the ball himself, went right in. Like you were talking about, Kevin Raymond had done so much damage and they were so focused on him. Isaac could have moonwalked him.
Yeah, he really could have. So right now Somerville's got a 31-28 lead. There's about 1:19 left in the 4th quarter, so it's going to come down to the defense.
Somerville's defense going to have to make a big stop here as they're kicking away to Medford, leading by 3 now. The Highlanders do, leading by 3, score of 31-28, with a minute 19 remaining in this game. We'll hold up on the field before this kickoff as we try to make sure the clock is correct on the field.
Yeah. Look, I I'm going to assume they're just going to keep the clock on the field.
Start the game till you fix the clock.
Yeah.
So we have a hold up here.
So it's a little scoreboard problem here, but you know the score is 31-28 Somerville. There's going to be 1 minute and 19 seconds left.
0-0. 1-9.
So we're getting the time. As we get the scoreboard taken care of, though, the officials are going to keep the time on the field and go ahead and kick the ball off. As no matter what the scoreboard says, we do know Highlanders lead 31-28, as this is a squib kick fielded at the 35-yard line and run right up the middle there to the 45-yard line. A 10-yard return there by Matt Sullivan for the Mustangs. They'll take over at the 45-yard line with just over 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining here in the game.
Marcus out? Why are we taking Marcus out?
It's 31-28.
31-28, the lead for the Highlanders here.
So defense here, you know, Medford's got the ball just outside of their own territory. I mean, Highlander territory, sorry.
Should be 31, coach.
So Medford now will hand the ball off to Corey Moore. He will reverse field going back to the right-hand side as he started it to the left, but he will not be able to get anywhere as Somerville did a great job making sure that he was corralled and had nowhere to go. No gain on that play.
Smart decision by Moore, too. He could have tried to move upfield a little bit, but he knew he needed to save time. Ran out of bounds, even though no gain, but you know, saving the time is a little bit more important than getting that extra yard or two.
Absolutely. 1 minute remaining in the game as Medford has it 2nd down and 10 on their own 45-yard line, trailing by 3. The score 31-28, the Highlanders leading the Mustangs. It all comes down to this possession. Pineda has one receiver up top, 3 receivers on the lower portion of the screen. He will go to the left-hand side on the slant pattern, and that ball is incomplete.
Just dropped. It looked like one of those fingertip catches. If that ball's a little higher, it's an easy reception.
Brings up a 3rd down and long here, 3rd down and 10 with 57 seconds remaining in the game. Big defensive situation here for the Highlanders, as Adrian Pineda, the quarterback for the Mustangs, has shown a very strong arm. He can get the ball down the field. We've got trip receivers to the top of the screen, a single receiver to the bottom. As Pineda's back to pass, he's under heavy pressure as the Highlanders get the big sack. That's Carlo Gerton.
Defensive line just bailed out the secondary there. That number 10 was wide open in the flat. If Pineda was able to set his speed, he might have been able to find him with lots of room to run, but time out by Medford. But 4th and very, very long. Great job by the defensive line, though. They definitely earned their money on that one.
No doubt about it, as the big sack sets Medford back to their own 40-yard line, brings up a 4th down and 15. Timeout on the field as Medford takes it with 36 seconds remaining in the game. Right now for Medford, you got to forget about the touchdown. Who cares about that? You got to get a 1st down in this situation.
Down,
4th down and 15, a 4th down and quite long for Medford. A heck of a homecoming game here for Somerville, as it's been back and forth throughout the night. Medford opened out the scoring at the beginning of the game. They scored on their first 2 possessions. Somerville was able to answer back on their first possession and then finish the scoring in the 2nd quarter with 2 touchdowns of their own, taking the lead at the half. Somerville was able to get out to an 8-point lead after the half as they scored on the opening possession of the 2nd half, but Medford was able to convert a turnover into points and retake the lead until Somerville, with Isaac Saren's run, able to take the lead, the 3-point lead they currently have. 4th and 15 is now the situation, as it's the pass out to the flats, and Moore will get 10 yards up to 11 yards, and that's where the Highlanders will knock him down at midfield and gain possession.
Great job by the defense there. Medford just trying to get the hand into their best playmaker and let him make a play, which you can't blame him. I mean, he was only, what, 4 or 5 yards short of that, but I mean, you can't fault Medford for that play call. I mean, they're just looking to get the ball in their best playmakers' hands and let them do something special.
Yeah, they tried to get the ball into Corey Moore's hands. He's been effective throughout the night. They tried to get the ball into his hands with a little open field in front of him. He was able to do that, but Somerville was able to shut that open field down right on him for a gain of only 10.
Now, I'm not sure how many timeouts Medford has left. I mean, they must have at least, I would assume, at least 2, maybe 3 at the most. So they are going to be able to stop the, the Highlanders, at least stop the clock. So
the Highlanders will take over the ball at midfield, actually at their own 49-yard line, just short of midfield. 26.3 seconds remaining in the game as the Highlanders lead 31-28.
High school football.
yeah, so I mean, the biggest thing right now here is ball security. You don't need bunches and bunches of yards.
Looks like we have the victory formation out there, Sal.
Yeah, I mean, can't blame them.
And they will take the knee.
And the clock's running, no timeout for Medford.
And the clock will run. Medford not calling a timeout. As we go inside 10 seconds left, and this is going to end the game with that victory formation kneel down. Somerville will come away with the 31-28 homecoming victory here, Sal. A great job by the Highlanders across the board in this back and forth battle.
Big win for the Highlanders here, and more importantly, that pretty much secures their spot in the Division III Northeast playoffs. We'll find out probably either Sunday or Monday, probably Sunday, I would assume, either Saturday night or Sunday, who the Highlanders will play in the first round. But you're going to expect them to be playing one of the top teams, one of the top 2-3 teams in the Division III Northeast. So not an easy task, but I'm sure they're happy to be there. I mean, all you need is a ticket to be in there, and then who knows what will happen.
So a big victory here for the Highlanders over the Medford Mustangs. As the Mustangs move to 1-6 on the season, the Highlanders move to 2-5 on the season, and as you said, secure themselves a place in the playoffs coming up. As the next time you're going to hear from us on Somerville Educational Channel 15 will be on Thanksgiving Day, as Somerville will have that big rivalry game against Cambridge coming up. But big win here as they look towards the playoffs for Somerville. They will come away victors tonight against the Medford Mustangs by a score of 31-28. Thank you very much for watching tonight. My name's Todd Harmon alongside Sal Mendonça for Somerville Educational Channel 15's coverage of Somerville High School football.